under? That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be as almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Tausch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Tuesday edition, even though it feels like a Monday, which is why I didn't realize I was on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning until the phone rang, so it's Tuesday.
That's crazy, huh?
Edition. I put together a list, love a good list, of the 5 questions that will not be answered during OTAs, which kick off today, but that the Packers need to start working on getting the answers to. Of course, we have a much better topic to start the show than that edition, and that is what's appropriate to ask of your guests for a graduation party. Am I summarizing that okay? I don't want to give away the farm right away. This is interesting. I don't usually respond to Tausch's text very quickly. This one I responded to right away. Edition of Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430. I'm a little close to the camera. ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And, of course, everything you need. On the all-new, all-redesigned, all-free, all-customizable. I was back in there last night tracking down the Matt LaFleur interview Tausch and I did on draft day from the Tundra Trio. It's in the Green and Gold Fix area if you're looking for it. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Download it in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios after a restful respite up north. Can't wait till hear if you gotta meet the baby from up north. Joe, and from his undisclosed location, he is the Packers Hall of Famer, and he clearly went to at least one graduation party over the weekend. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. No, I did not go to a graduation party this weekend. I'm not sure. Yeah, we received invites to some graduation parties.
I was wondering when you texted us if you had gone to the party or if it was just you had gotten the invite in the mail
and how much
or
you paid
handed to you, whatever.
So
yeah.
I'm trying to figure out now because, we had a long break, 3 days.
Oh, boy.
How much do we go into stuff that, if I'm being honest, I want to jump into outside of the Packers stuff? Because I know you're hypersensitive to this, Jason. You have what I believe we should do is a question of the day, since you have 5 of them, that we should hit as these OTAs are going. But this scenario, and I think it's always interesting, especially as your kids are getting older. My kids are getting older. you coach kids, you're kind of like, all right, am I going to this? There's some graduation parties you're 100% going to go to. You're finding a way to get to it. And then I think there's a lot of graduation parties that are more, I probably feel like I have to invite this person. I really hope they send me some money. Hey, is that a fair way to break down the graduation party scene? Is that a fair way?
No, I was laughing because it's true. Real quickly before we delve further into this, because it sounded to me like you are chock full of topics that sprung from your Memorial Day weekend.
I have a few.
Is that fair?
I wouldn't say chock full. I have what I think, because I have a ton of ideas that float around. Some I text you, some I don't. Some I say let's remember, and then we don't, never get to them. I mean, I have
Tausch
written down. The only thing I have written down.
I got it right here.
Someday.
The only thing I have written down is cat fair on my board. That will come up at some point, and I know what it means, and I will discuss.
Am
Not
I hosting
today.
it?
I don't know if you are not. But this, I think, is interesting because there are a ton of graduation parties coming up. There's a lot. And when you are friends with people that live out of state, I think the generalization is, unless you're really feeling it, you're going to send a thank you or a congratulations card with a check or cash, and you'll move about your business. I think that is fair. This happened, and I think Sarah wisely did not tell me who sent this. Because I don't think I would have slipped up, but I don't want to know. I don't want to know if this is someone local, if this is an old teammate. I don't know who sent this. But we were with some friends at their lake place yesterday, and they have a bunch of graduation parties, and Sarah brought this up, and at like an early dinner last night.
Winner.
And I thought, that's when I immediately grabbed my phone and sent the text because I thought, this is interesting. Venmo QR code on the graduation invite. Don't like it a bit.
Oh.
Don't know, again, don't know who
now.
sent it, but I respect the move. Like, I cannot like something and still respect the move because, let's be honest, if indeed it is all transactional, and life you hope isn't transactional, you hope there's meaningful relationships, there are going to be things in life that are transactional. There are times it's like, I got to go find a card. How much do we throw in there? Where this could be a lot easier. They're actually giving you the out of just Venmoing them $40, whatever it is, and being done. But I don't like what it represents. I like the ease, but I don't like what it represents. And that was where the discussion went.
As I often do. Is it? Do we have to exercise any measure of caution? Did Sarah warn you? While she did not give away the identity of the inviters,
Sure.
are we sure that they're not like? Because they're going to be able to use. They're going to know if they put a Venmo code on their invites for their kids' graduation.
It's not the Big O, is it?
I believe. No, Big O doesn't have anybody graduating this year. And we wouldn't miss a Big O party. We don't miss those. You're going to see this more. This is going to be standard protocol, I do believe. I don't know if it should be, and that's another conversation. And we got into, whether or not we should get a dog, and then there's robot dogs that are out there that was brought up, and we should be. I'm not going down that road because I want to be mindful of your itchiness and our audience.
So it's
I want to be
our
mindful
audience.
of both.
Thank you. Yes, our audience. I think it's important to strike a balance. And when
agree.
and I was just having this conversation with someone who purchased an item from me on Facebook Marketplace, who's a big fan of the show. Also bought something from a guy on eBay who's a big fan of the show, which was wild. But he did say that he's like, I love Tausch's tangents. I said, and I would say this, I did say this behind your back. I'll say it to your face. I said the dude's a genius. He is. He's as is the case with many geniuses. It can be difficult to deal with at times, but that doesn't change.
And in fairness,
fact that
you're no walk in the park either. Just in fairness, so continue.
And here's the thing about being together for this long. I knew that was coming before you said it. But he did say that there are times where I would like a little more Packers mixed in.
That's fair.
And
I
that's
think
all.
that is
that's
a fair criticism.
Yeah, sure. So
Totally
this,
fair.
on the other hand, if this was a pool, I mean, I wouldn't dive in because I'm not really a very strong swimmer, but I would get in the pool. I am in the pool. I would go all the way up to my neck in this pool because this, I instantly texted you and said, IPT. And then I, in Tausch fashion, came up with what I thought was a sage alternative where you're still asking for money, but it's got a little more of a educational bent. So we will put this on Twitter now. I think that will be up and running here momentarily. But I am curious, since you were discussing this with your group of friends at their lake house and with Sarah, Sarah's kind of the moral compass of this show. Like, if I want to know if we're going too far one way or the other, I check in with Sarah.
She does have a good balance about her.
Yeah. Where did she fall on this before we move forward? Because my knee-jerk reaction is IPT, and I don't actually respect it like you do. That feels I don't want to get an invoice along with my invite.
But it's not an invoice, and I think Sarah kind of went through a similar thought process that I did. Now, in fairness, again, I would not have known that this even existed because
you don't check the mail.
We got this fancy new calendar that has got everything on it, and it annoys me.
Oh,
but
is it one of those
actually,
electronic deals that's on the wall?
Yeah, I'm not going to give it the. I'm not going to advertise for it.
I kind of wanted to
because
get
it's
one
not
of those.
ice cream.
You don't like it?
4 to 5 p.m. party.
Well, that's the Tausch calendar.
No, she actually had put in whose party it is and what time it's at, and so that is all good. So I would not have known about the Venmo piece to this.
Okay.
And I do believe, as we were talking, I think Sarah had, and if she's listening today, she'll respond. I feel fairly confident. I think she had similar thoughts as what we did last night was that is really rude. I don't like it. It's super unrelationshipy.
Transactional.
But I think it's easier on the person, too. So while I don't like the concept of it, the ease of doing something is a lot nicer than having to go get a card and then write something, basically, congrats, hope you use this in a good way, or whatever you put down on the card. This way, it is just a Venmo with a note to say, happy graduation. That's really what, and then the question is, if you Venmo said person, do they send you a Venmo back of thank you, or do they have to still send a thank you card? Like, that is where I'm not 100% sure. I still would like a thank you card back, because I know.
Like handwritten through the mail?
Yep. So you're making it easier. We're not coming like Jesse. We're not going to go there and wolf down food and ask for leftovers to take home. So there's no expense to you. It's not a shot at you. It's just reality. That happens to you a lot. And so you're doing that, but I still want a handwritten thank you card back if I do make a donation to your college fund or whatever it's going to end up being. Is that fair?
First of all, the handwritten thank you card is, we still abide by that as best we can. Now, I have taken a little bit of a twist and had the girls write handwritten cards and then scan them in and emailed them to people because, again, I understand, but I'm trying to be agile in a new era, but I believe in those as well. I don't want to get hung up on how to thank someone for asking me for money via Venmo. Like, I sell a toy mailbox on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody Venmos me. That's transactional. You invite me to your party and deliver the
you don't want to go, but this is the tough part, because I think they know you can't go or don't want to go, and you don't want to go. I would bet most of the time you, knowing how you operate, especially if the girls have anything to it, like if they're going to go catch butterflies in the park, you're going to probably say, no, I got to go watch my kids catch butterflies. It's not a shot. It's just reality.
No, okay,
that's reality.
You're
not going to go to
at two people and
then
told them it wasn't a shot.
Well, because it's not. I could see you guys on camera grimace when I'm not even looking for you to grimace.
Butterflies in the park.
Jason, if your daughter said, "Hey, Dad, let's go catch butterflies in the park," and Stewie's got a graduation party over in Ashwaubenon, you ain't going to Stewie, and you don't barely know Stewie, and he gave you a Venmo option, you're going to go catch butterflies in the park with your girls. Like, who are we kidding here?
I am just going to say this. If you send me an invite and I'm not attending your party, I'm not sending you a check in the mail. If you send me an invite and it has a Venmo scan code on it, I'm not donating to your cause. I'm not. I find that presumptuous and obnoxious. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really?
We will not be doing that.
Wow.
When the girls graduate from high school. I can 100% Homer True guarantee we will not put a Venmo on our graduation invitations. Period. Finn.
Wow.
Would you you do that? Would you do not forget about your
I'm not
NFL
going to watch
career.
Butterflies, no. I'm not watching butterfly pickup.
No, you also won't get a dog because you're a kind of
it might be this robotic dog thing. I'm not going to go into
getting
it.
A dog.
Kind of an interesting.
You're not
kind of an
getting a
interesting
robot
mix.
dog.
I'm not saying I am, but I'm
poops
saying
lug
it was
nuts.
really interesting when the notion got brought up.
Okay. So where did you ultimately fall on this? Are you sending money via Venmo to these people?
It's a great question. I have to find out who they are, first off.
Well, doesn't Sarah handle this anyway?
She does, and typically I don't even, like, if we can't go, I don't even really know. She is great at handling that. In this case, because it is new, I am guessing that we will have some conversation about what we will do. I disagree. I think if you have no relationship at all with the people, I get it, but then you're not going to get an invite. Do you get what I'm saying? They're not going to invite random people out of the blue for no reason.
Other than to make money.
They're not.
It's a Ponzi scheme. Jesse, how did you respond to this when Tausch asked it?
I think it's actually a courtesy to the guests to provide the Venmo QR code.
I think there's people that are going to think this.
I am in favor of it.
Tell me more.
It's a new world. Kids these days, whether you're graduating high school, college, they don't want to get a check or cash and run to the bank and put it in. Like, that people don't want to do that anymore. They want to be able to do it as easy as possible.
Hey,
and so,
Jesse.
Yes.
UW Credit Union has a deal. You don't have to do any of that.
Understand.
Boom, boom.
And Associated Bank does as well. We have a couple of great and all great banks who are part of this show have options where you can do that.
This isn't
of course.
1983 when you got to get in your car and drive 25 miles and sign.
Just take a picture of the check. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Jesse. You know
but
better
also,
than that. Continue.
With weddings, with graduations, with any other bridal showers. We just saw a text from Tammy and Slinger on the Carbless Talking text line. Bridal showers, any type of event where you want to provide some type of payment. I'm sure this happens with like confirmation parties and other things like that too. There's always these hoops of how much do we give and how do you spell the name correctly? The Mr. and Mrs. Whatever the new name is when you're getting married. Do you want to give the new name, the old name? I think this is a very easy way to just say, boom, boom, there it is. You can still provide a card without any cash or check inside of it. And you could say, like, it's just a
That's not convenient,
It's a super convenient way to provide the Venmo QR code for anybody to have. Like, I saw in a church bulletin a few weeks back, they had a Venmo for an offering. Like, instead of putting the thing in the dish when they pass it, you could just Venmo the church for an offering. Like, this is happening everywhere. Venmo's taking over.
Okay.
844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Is this IPT or convenient? I understand Jesse's point. My response, and again, I don't know because I have not had to ask or do one of these graduation invitations. And Jesse didn't know what this is because he doesn't have kids. There are 529 accounts, which are college funds. I thought you could split the difference and there could be the opportunity to donate directly to the college fund as opposed to the Venmo.
The human fund. Just do it to the human fund.
So then Sydney can go spend it on lotion or something. So I'm open to being convinced that I am just a dinosaur who has not kept up with the changing social landscape and the technology piece of that. I am open to that possibility. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. We'll get to your responses to this after Tausch tells us about Gina Della and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
There is no better time to upgrade your windows and doors than right now. Graduation season, wedding season. If you're looking to host these parties, you want to make sure your windows and doors are tight and everything's great. You're looking to really, get out and get something memorable to your graduates. Get them some new windows and doors because Pella's offering up to 6 years and you don't have any financing, 0%. Set up your free in-home consultation and you commit to nothing at this point. They'll listen to your vision and suggest the Pella materials and customizations that can turn it into a reality. Again, 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions do apply. This deal ends at the end of May, so visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
844-770-3776. That is the carbless talk and text line. Less is more. We'll get your thoughts on this, and we'll get to the Packers as well. Coming up on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
Memorial Day savings are here at Brothers Maine. Shop unbeatable deals on top brands like GE Appliances, Cafe, Hotpoint, and Monogram. Plus, enjoy expert support and free local delivery. Visit us today and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits. Only one way to do cocktail night right, and that's with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Strofe. For 4 years now, I've been telling you the only way I do cocktail night right at the Strofe household, and that is with my friends at Door County Distillery. Whether it's a bourbon on the rocks, an old-fashioned made with their cherry brandy infused with Door County cherries, or something like a rum punch with the weather getting warm, it's always Door County Distillery. Find it wherever local spirits are sold or visit doorcountydistillery.com.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. RidgetopExteriors.com. That's RidgetopExteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
This update is sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Play Brewers Baseball Bingo presented by U.S. Cellular for the chance to win prizes all season long. Download the MLB Ballpark app from the App Store or Google Play to get in on the action. Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
He's got a Chevrolet that don't always run and the radio never turns.
The question is in the field, both in poll form and with a link to both of our YouTube channels and the video on Twitter. If you received a high school graduation invitation that included a Venmo QR code to give the grad a monetary gift, would you find that IPT, in poor taste for those that are not familiar with our lexicon, or convenient? And apparently there's a flying money emoji that I've discovered, which I guess is like transferring money. Woo! 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. From the Carbless Talk and Text line, Jake in McGuanago. I'm 37 and find the whole Venmo thing ridiculous in general. The fact they ask like that, I'd be less likely to give them anything at all. And thank you cards are always nice and should be done. I agree with everything Jake said, and Jake's not nearly as old as I am. But maybe Jake's an old soul. My question for you is in general, before we get to calls. If someone invites you to something that you are not attending, what percentage of the time, graduation party, confirmation, baptism, shower, wedding, what percentage of those events do you send some sort of monetary or tangible gift to that person if you are not going? Because I'm going to admit, I'm not very good at that.
I would say, we'd have to ask Sarah on that, but I'd say it's pretty high.
Yeah.
If you just can't make it, you still want to celebrate and you want to help. You get invited. That means there's something there. Okay? There's something there. So whether it's your best buddy and you're not going to miss it for the world, or it's something else, time is always the most valuable asset as you get older, and you know that. Throwing a little cash at somebody just to say, hey, man, kudos to you, congrats, I think that's a nice gesture, but I'd much rather you not bring anything and just show up for a couple hours. That would be what I'd prefer. It'd be great if you did both. That would be fine too, but I would bet that when that happens, I would venture to say we're pretty high in the percentage we still do something. I don't know to what degree, but we do something.
Kelly on Twitter, I guess it's the expectation of the money that gets to me, but maybe I'm just old. That is exactly fits what I am grappling with. Maybe I'm just a dinosaur. Because there is the unspoken expectation when you get invited to a graduation party that you are going to give money, or to a wedding or whatever it is. There's also...
But I think a lot of that is, like Jesse's wedding, did you give Jesse any money?
No, I gave him a gift.
Okay. Was it a poster?
No, they were all out of those.
Was it a Hansel and Gretel?
They're very hard to find. But Jesse made a great point last night, and then we'll get to calls. But I think when Jesse makes a great point, it should be celebrated. Jesse, what was your point comparing this to a wedding?
I don't even need to make it. Lynn in St. Peter just texted it in. I think providing a Venmo link is similar to giving a gift registry link. So we were talking with some people up north, and
hey, where's St. Peter? That's not Moscow, is it?
Not that I know of.
Can you do, since you can't do a pirate accent, can you do a Russian accent?
I don't think so.
Went on that Russian podcast a number of years ago. So, yeah, like we found out there's a graduation party that has a registry for all the like dorm thing. It's a high school graduation, so all the things that the kid wants to have.
You can't do a registry for a grad party. You can't do it, man. Like, what are we doing here?
Then if you want to get a gift instead of just
like a Chevy,
you're gonna have Wilde digging through his basement, finding some moldy old floor mats to give to Cindy, who's going off to Og Hall up at Wisconsin. Like, what are we doing
First
here?
of all,
people are sending registries for grad parties?
The quality of my products is very high.
Cindy.
Ruth.
Oh, boy. Wilde's got a hanger sale coming around 4th of July. Let's
got some camps to pay for.
If your goal is to be less transactional and you want a more thoughtful gift to give somebody that they're going to take, why not make it something they want, and they have a registry in place, and boom, hey, here you go. Here's the plastic compartment thing you want
Jesse,
for under your desk. Here's some sheets.
You're opening up a whole new can of worms here, because you can't give used bed sheets to people as graduation party gifts.
No one's saying
I wouldn't even
get some
Stop going
sheets.
for the joke and let him speak.
I'm not going for a joke.
He
just said bed
used
sheets.
bed sheets.
Yeah, I got brand new
I
bed
don't
sheets
think you
when
should.
I went to college.
Hey,
that's on
Mr.
you. Then.
Whatever that website is that you're schlepping stuff on. You're telling me
Poshmark, eBay,
that you're
Facebook Marketplace.
You won't look at it and say, well, these look pretty clean.
All right, first of all,
I think I'm gonna put these up, and I'm gonna send them over to little Freddie, who's graduating from Green Bay Preble. Like, I just don't think that should be part of your deal.
No. Jesse, I think, first of all, what you bring up is a great idea. We have done this before. You put together like a care package of fun things that they're going to need at college. I don't like to give cash in general because I don't feel like it's creative. So I like to come up with creative ideas. If someone is going off, say, to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, I put together a gift basket that has maybe even sheets or pillowcases. Yes, brand new, not used, and some other items, a gift card to the bookstore, that kind of stuff. So
I'm
yes,
sorry.
but
you
again,
shouldn't be picking
not all
out.
of us.
You shouldn't be picking out Freddie's bed sheet covers. Like, I just don't think that's appropriate. I don't.
Okay, I think you're getting lost on the best.
No, I just don't think you should.
You don't have to pick it out when it's on the registry. It has exactly what Freddie
but he's
wants.
looking through his boxes in the basement saying,
What happened to
"Oh,
Cindy
yeah,
and Ruth? Where'd they go?" 844-770-3776. Let's get to one call now before they really start piling up.
And
844.
Wait for Evan Cohen too.
Yes,
nothing
that's
new
true too. I forgot about it. I forgot it's Tuesday. So we'll ask him.
Why don't we
question.
just act like today's a Monday? Because it is in the grand.
Let's make Evan wait a little longer. Let's talk to John in DeForest. John, good morning. Thanks for holding on. IPT or convenient with the Venmo?
100% convenience.
How old are you?
38.
I
don't know what Jake is doing at 37. So these are the kids that are on the fringe.
By the way.
They've maybe been to the house before. They're not 100. You're not 100% sure who these kids are, but they're around. You know who they are. They're not the family friends. You got to get them something, and they get the invite. You're busy. You forget about it. Oh, I got to just get this gift. Quick Venmo. It's got your name on it. You put a little emoji. Done. The kids you know, you can go get them a little more of a thoughtful gift, something that they're going to have. You know them a little better. You know what to get them. 100% convenience.
Okay. We appreciate your position. And I am open to being convinced, as I said. I think he makes... the little emojis that you add, I don't think that makes it any more special.
Nah, it does.
On Venmo.
I think it does, too. I think it brings a smile to your face. I do.
Like, you just send me $10 or $10 with a pizza emoji. I'm like, oh, yeah, that brings back memories when we shared that pizza.
So when I pay the bug guy who sprays for our bugs, and I put the 3 bugs, you think he appreciates that more with all the little bug emojis?
Give him a little ant next to it.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I have to pay him right now, so I'll do that. And then I'll also invite him to Sydney's 8th grade graduation and send him my Venmo code.
Give him a little ant and a skull next to it. He'll appreciate it.
What if he sent you one free
I would take that,
the
by the way. I'd
there
be
you
totally
go.
on board with that.
That seems like it could be a win-win for everybody.
Well, he's a good dude, and we appreciate his work, just like we appreciate Evan Cohen, who's going to join us next. After I remind you, since we're talking about money, hey, if you're unhappy with your bank, maybe they don't make it easy for you to deposit those checks that you'd rather get via Venmo. Well, Associated Bank makes it extremely convenient. They've got the Associated Bank app, which allows you to directly deposit those checks without having to go to the bank. Or you can go, I like going to the bank personally, but again, we've established I'm old. All I know is I love Associated Bank. They've been a partner of ours from the very beginning of this show, and they have all the great customer service awards to prove how good they are. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Evan Cohen joins us next. We'll ask him about this IPT question. It's Wilde and Tausch.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Boston Red Sox.
First pitch to Jackson Chourio. Driven left center. See you later.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Bree Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
At Metro Ford of Madison, they sell vehicles that are built in America for America. This month, enjoy their You Pay What We Pay sale. The 2024 Ford Mach-E offers 0% APR financing for 72 months. $13.89 cost per $1,000 borrowed. The 2024 Ford F-150 is available with 2.9% APR financing for 66 months. $16.47 per $1,000 borrowed. Bonus cash available on XLT and SXT models. All offers available to qualified credit. Browse their inventory at MetroFordofMadison.com.
Live the high life and get into the nitty-gritty, home of the award-winning Gritty Burger and Madison's official birthday place. Enjoy a full menu including sandwiches, specialty burgers, wraps, salads, and weekend brunch. With the family-friendly environment, it's a great place to watch the big game. Plus, they've got Miller High Life Power Hour specials daily. Located in downtown Madison, Middleton, and Sun Prairie, the nitty-gritty, a tradition since 1968. Also enjoy high life at Bar Coralini, Paradise Lounge, and Jordan's Big Ten Pub.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
All across Wisconsin, destination marketing organizations are working to ensure that tourism in our state and your local community is stronger than ever. Their work to drive visitation and enhance the visitor experience not only encourages travelers to discover our great state, it bolsters the economy, supports jobs, and it improves the quality of life for all Wisconsin residents. To learn more about what these great organizations are doing, visit destinationswisconsin.com. Sponsored by Destinations Wisconsin.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
I'm throwing caution. What's it gonna be? Tonight the winds of change are blowing wild and free. If I don't get out of this town.
We've kept Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike waiting long enough, but let's make him wait another minute. Tausch, how do you predict Evan will vote on this very, very, very good question? You guys are friends.
Transactional.
Allegedly.
He'll be transactional.
So he's on board. He's appreciating the Venmo QR code.
He
All right,
will
let's
like
find
the
out.
ease of he'll like the ease of this.
All right. Well, let's find out. We welcome him in. Maybe we'll talk some sports as well. From Unsportsmanlike, it is Evan Cohen on Wilde and Tausch. Evan, good morning. How are you?
Hey, guys. Do we believe that Jason forgot it was Tuesday, or Jason wanted to sign up for his most favorite thing in the world, which is less time with me?
No, I've forgotten it was Tuesday twice, and I know you love that storyline, but I was against this when Tausch suggested it, and I actually enjoy it most of the time.
Oh, wow. Well, Jason and I were texting last week as initiated by me, just the two of us. And I thought there were some interesting things back and forth. And, so I think we're making good progress here.
I appreciate that. I'll send you my Venmo code.
Yeah, Jesse was filling me in quickly on the bid here. So what's going on? Give me some details.
Tausch, this is your story. You do it.
Oh, Jason, All right, so Evco, as your kids are getting older, Jason, all of our kids are getting older. Graduation parties are coming, and they're coming in, more numbers than in the past. And there's a new era. It used to be you'd get the invite, you could make it, you can't make it, you're going to send a card regardless. Well, we received one, and Sarah wisely didn't tell me who sent it, with just a straight-up Venmo link on it. And I sent that over to the boys last night, and it spurred some pretty good conversation this morning. I've kind of went back and forth on how I felt about it. I didn't like it. I don't like it still. What say you, Evan Cohen?
Yeah, so I think there is going to be a catch to this. And I think as I reason it out, maybe you'll agree. Tausch, I don't want to talk about your personal finances, but let's do it this way. The assumption would be that someone as smart and shrewd as you are, that played a decade in the NFL, would not be looking for handouts. So maybe if your kids attach the Venmo to the graduation party invitation, it would come off like, really? They're going to ask us to pay for this? The guy played a decade in the NFL, and now has a huge radio show, in essence, TV show on ESPN Wisconsin, right? That may come off the wrong way. But if average everyday person is saying, you know what, we're going to spend some money for our child to have a graduation party because we want to celebrate them, but we kind of need to make some of the money back, I don't blame them. I think it's like if you're the person in the community that has a couple of bucks, you can't ask for the money back. If you don't, you can. How about that?
Well, so I'm not even the money part of it. It's more the, here you go, I don't really care if you come. That is more what I was thinking. And then the ease of paying someone rather than having to go get a card, write a note, and figure out, okay, what are we putting in there, $50? What is it going to be? I didn't look at it. I think everybody that goes to a graduation party wants to support the kid. It's not really about the parents. This is about the kids. But when you get this, I think the question was...
No, Tausch, you're right. You're right. I was just saying, in general, if the Tauschers put the QR code, I'd rip them. If the Tauschers had a graduation party and your kid's friends brought a gift, totally fine. But when you're putting the QR code, you are kind of suggesting how you want the gift to come your way, right?
Sure.
It's not
that
like,
is,
okay, the Wildes put a QR code. Well, you know what? Jason, for his daughters, is looking for them to have a couple of extra bucks for a college fund. Okay, but if I wanted to get them something like if I wanted to get a Sabrina Ionescu framed autographed picture, I guarantee his kids would love that. I'm saying I guarantee the girls would love that, but that's not what the Wildes are asking for if they QR code the invite. Right?
So you have always said you don't love the Christmas cards or the updates on families. You are anti that. What happens in 4 years when Max graduates high school and I send Evan Cohen and his family, who live, Lord knows where you'll live at that point, I send you a graduation invite to Max's party. What are you thinking? You thinking he wants me to send him some bucks? Or are you thinking, boy, Tausch, that's nice. I appreciate you doing that. How would you even interpret that from your perspective?
Okay, that's a good one. If you're sending someone that's your friend out of state a graduation party invite, you know they're not going to go. So you're only sending it for the gift. I mean, that's the reality. You're sending it because you're assuming that I have a couple of extra bucks to spare. I'm not saying I do. You're assuming that. And you know, we should invite them because they'll send a good gift knowing they'll never show up for it. It's the perfect, like there is such a strategy around invites, now QR codes, suggested gifts, oh, no gifts please, which means give a gift. There's so many strategies on that. I guess you could say the QR code, if you really want to boil it down, is someone saying, I don't want to pay for this party. I want to be neutraled out, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to give my kid a gift. That's what it is.
Jason?
I hadn't thought of it in those terms. I am curious because you now have both you've kind of danced around this subject. I didn't want to ask this. Is this a former player that you played with in the league? You don't know, so I'm not really. This is a hypothetical question. I'm not asking you personally to out them.
Wait, you were invited, Tausch, or your kids were invited to this graduation party?
No, we were invited to a graduation party out of town.
The four of you?
Very similar to us sending you a graduation announcement that Max is graduating, blah, blah, blah.
That is, you can't read between the lines. That is, he's going to send a good gift. Let's invite him. That is a credit for the invite, good gift invite.
You think so?
What are you, an idiot? How do you not figure that? Oh, my God.
Well, hey, Evan, hold up a second.
Yeah.
I invited you and your wife to a really nice concert in a couple weeks. I had no ulterior.
I thought you were joking.
Oh, can I take his
spot
spot at the
You thought I
Killers?
was joking. I sent you a note saying, hey, got tickets. Can you make it?
You want to get real?
Hey, just hold up a second.
Real
Jason, hold up 1 second. Jason, is this a joke when I sent Evan a note said, hey, got 2 extra tickets for the Killers. Love for you to join us. Let me know if you can make it. That's what I said.
That's not a joke.
Is that a joke?
I can't believe he took that as a joke.
Oh,
you guys both love the Killers. You're good friends.
Yes.
Unlike us.
Yes.
That sounds great.
Okay, couple of things on this. I believe we are good friends, but I would say within the last 2 months, there was a moment where I thought that friendship was jeopardized. And I reached out to Tausch to kind of clarify a couple of things, and he never responded. So I thought things were kind of rocky, if I'm going to be honest.
But hold up a second. The Killers was... Hey, hold up, Evan. The Killers was way before that. It was way before that.
No.
And you know that.
So
don't bring... Well, hold up. Don't bring this and that. This is not that.
Oh,
I'm talking Killers. You...
Now who needs a therapist?
Yeah, exactly. I know.
I know. Jesse, there is zero question in this scenario. I absolutely was in the wrong. There is no question. I did not think my wrong affected him. My guess is my wrong did not affect him, but he liked me thinking it did to kind of stick it to me. That would be my guess if I know Tausch.
That sounds like him.
When I crossed the line with him. Am I right, Tausch?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be talking to you if that wasn't the case. So yeah, I don't know how you've gotten so soft. Like, what's happened to you?
He's turning into me.
I was always soft.
Is it possible you are turning into Wilde? You're not coming to your favorite concert, your favorite band. You're all set up, and you're not going to come.
I can't.
And you think
I can't. I told you that.
Yeah. All right, so where are we coming down? Before we move on? Where are we coming down on this whole? So where are we at with this, Jason?
Can I just give you my final answer? The more details we are getting, the more details we are getting. Because Jason, I think we're learning more details here. The more details we are getting, I believe said person, whomever she or he is, invited out-of-town Tauschers to a graduation party simply out of the assumption he has money, they have money, they will send a good gift. That's my assumption. Hence the QR code.
Maybe.
Makes it easy, clean, boom, boom, boom.
But I think this is going to be more standard down the road. I think this is going to be more standard as we keep going.
Jason Wilde,
in this technological.
If you had a graduation party for your daughters, would you QR code the invite? Now knowing how simple the refund in essence is that the Wildes spend, Jason and Paula say, you know what? We're going to go all out. I'm making up a number. We're going to spend $1,000 on a graduation party. But we know if we invite 50 people to this, we may make that money back and some. Will you consider QR coding it moving forward, Will?
No, I will not.
Sell hangers there. No. You will not QR code it.
I will not do it.
Is it because, again, not getting in your finances, you work hard to make a good living, and you feel like we should be down 1,000 versus evening out based on the hard work that we put in to make money.
Oh, great.
I am appreciative of my compensation of what I do. That said, I wouldn't say that I'm living on easy street necessarily. It's not
You
because
got a pool.
I don't
You
have
got
a pool. We don't have a pool.
You got a pool, Wildy. Wow.
I am
Pool guy.
uncomfortable. I'm
a lawn guy.
I'm not very good at asking for money back when people when we pool our resources and I pay for something, then you got to pay a portion of it. I'm not good at asking for the money that they actually owe. So I don't like the presumptuousness of the QR code on the invite. So no, I can tell you I will not do it. Period.
All right.
Period, Finn.
Interesting.
All right, what do we got? Give us the latest nationally on Giannis here. I know that there's not been a ton. Sounds like there was a meeting. What's going to end up happening here, Mr. NBA?
Was that report? Was there a meeting? Because I'm unaware of that. If there was,
I thought it was last week. Wasn't there some? Nothing
I
is
thought
really
there was
leaked
a
out.
report that it was going to be last week. I have not heard that there was a meeting.
All right. Well, you tell us what you think.
There may have been. I have no idea. My thought process has not changed. Until he actually asks out, I don't think he's going anywhere because I don't believe all of a sudden things are so much different than they've been in years past. I think he's been so loyal to the Bucks and so loyal to the great state of Wisconsin that until it happens, I believe he's going to stay. Now, I will tell you a theory that some have thrown out there. This is not reporting. This is Knicks fans. Like Nuno, who's our producer on our show, wants to believe this is a Knicks fan. That maybe the meeting happens between Giannis and the Bucks after the Knicks are eliminated, whenever that may be, because it could give him further clarity on next destination. In other words, if the Knicks win the title, which they're not going to, but if they win the title, he's like, oh, well, if that was my destination, I can't go there. I can't join the title team. But if they lose in this round, which I think they will, well, there's room to grow for that team. I'm the way that they grow. So maybe he's – and by the way, apply that, if you want, to any of the other teams that are still remaining. And then maybe he wants the full landscape of what's available to him, with the assumption, a la Kevin Durant in 2016, he's not going to join a title team.
Well, there you go.
Evan, so you're writing.
Jesse, can we clip that response from the guys and then replay it all day? That was really good, the response. Dead air. Really.
No.
Let's make sure we use that on KBN if we could. That was great. That was great audio.
Are we not allowed to think about something that gives us pause?
Not
I have
really.
not thought of that possibility.
Jesse, can you just figure out, go back, this may take you 3 weeks, but go back and find out how long that dead air lasted for. What would you say? Let's do a bet on this. Over, under 2.5 seconds of dead air.
Oh, I think it was.
Oh, it was over 2
4 or 5 seconds.
Over?
Yeah.
It was not 4 or 5 seconds.
Jason, how long was it dead air? Be fair.
2.34 seconds.
Wow. Okay.
So are you writing? Wait a minute. Because I do not want the Indiana Pacers in the finals.
Why is that?
Because I find them to be unlikable.
Really?
I do. Mm-hmm.
They're the biggest rival of the
for an
Bucks.
interview once or something?
No, they're
no,
the biggest.
no.
He hates Reggie Miller.
I do not like Reggie Miller. That's true. That is true.
And the Pacers are the Bucks' biggest rival as we sit here right now. Is that fair?
Okay, you know what? I stand corrected. Jason, I apologize. Go ahead.
So are you writing them off now?
The
Knicks?
Or the Knicks?
The Knicks.
Oh, yeah. Yes, but not as much as I'm writing off like the season's over. The Thunder are going to win the championship. Like, there's zero doubt in my mind they're going to win the championship. And I think that we get hung up on the laundry because, like, think about it. If they were wearing a Lakers, Celtics, or Warriors jersey, we'd all be saying the season's over. But because we're unfamiliar with this team, because it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, we just are ignoring it. And, like, the reality is, think about it this way. A completely healthy 68-win team with the MVP up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals with neither the 1 nor 2 seed in the Eastern Conference Finals left. Wouldn't we have already crowned that team if we had seen them do it before, or if they had different uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
They are so obviously going to be the champ. And they are going to be the champ now, and there's a chance that they're going to be the champs later because they are insanely well built for the future. I mean, I'm not trying to end the conversation or make it a boring conversation, but like I brought this up on the show today. Think about it this way. This is from our era, the three of us, not Jesse as much, but the three of us. They were 4 wins away from the Bulls' 72. Like, think about that.
Yeah.
I think at any point when the Bulls had 72 wins, any of the three of us that all loved MJ are like, yeah, you know, I could see them losing in the playoffs. Like, what? What, are you crazy? We would count how many losses. It would be like over, under 1.5 for the entire postseason. And we would say, probably under. Like, that's how good this team has been. I've been late to the party on it. And, oh, by the way, you know, we talk about this with quarterbacks all the time in football, right? Once you're elite, once you're at that Favre or Rodgers level, you're judged by how many Super Bowl wins and how many MVPs you have, right? And, like, the number, I think, combined is 5. When you get to that 5 number, you're rarefied air, right, which Rodgers has, 4 + 1, if I'm not mistaken. Favre has, what? All in.
4, 3 and 1.
3 and 1. Okay. So I think 5, if you look at it historically, if you have 5 and MVPs and Super Bowls combined as a quarterback, you're on another level, right? You realize the 2018 NBA draft, all anyone talked about was Luka versus Trey. Shea was the 11th pick in the draft. He's going to likely have and he has an MVP. He's going to likely have an NBA championship and likely have a Finals MVP. And he only has 2 less first-team All-NBAs than Luka does. And Luka, rightfully so, is looked at as this unbelievable player. Shea's resume is better. Same draft.
And if he played for the Mavericks, they'd trade him. Evan, is it too late for you to make it to this Killers concert? Because if not, I might actually take up Tausch on those tickets that he offered you if they're still available.
You broke up on me. I'm sorry. Say that again, Jason.
I said, are you 100% out on the Killers at Summerfest? Because I might actually leave my basement if those tickets that were earmarked for you are still available.
I think I am 100% out. Not because I want to be, but because I have to be.
Well, I'm glad that your friendship is still intact.
The pause was 6.5 seconds long after further review.
Oh, my God.
It was that long?
That it was.
Yeah.
Tausch and I both made a noise.
Jesse,
I said,
play it back if you could. Jesse, play back like my last couple of words into the pause.
Let's check the replay.
He's not going to join a title team.
Well, there you go.
Wait a minute. That doesn't count? Evan, so
He said,
you're right.
and there you go. That wasn't dead pause. That's got to be dead air.
There you go.
That is not
count as
That's not
anything.
dead air. It's not dead air.
Wait a minute. I know. Wait,
That's
what
blasphemous.
day is today? Tuesday? All right, so I don't know if it's a caller day. But was that too long of dead air?
We already
Open that
took
up.
a
That
call.
was way
Hey.
too long.
We already took a call today, so it is Monday. It's a Tuesday, but we're playing it like a Monday, but it's a Wednesday. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what we're doing.
Thanks, Evan.
See you guys.
That is Evan Cohen. You can hear him every single day on Unsportsmanlike across ESPN Wisconsin and across ESPN Radio. You might think we're done with the 9 o'clock hour, but we're not. More next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Let me tease. Let me tease.
Sure, yes. Tease it. Tease
All
it.
right.
Go ahead.
There is some interesting news breaking about a certain cornerback that the G&G, that us on this panel, did not think was going to be back, and that news is breaking, and I think you're going to be incredibly intrigued to find out what it is. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Lambeau bound. The Wisconsin-Notre Dame showdown taking a huge stage to open the 2026 season. Voice of the Badgers, Matt LePay, joining the Jump Around Digital show. No better spot for this clash than Green Bay, if you asked him.
Where else would you rather be than Lambeau Field for this? And anybody who was there for the 2016 game against LSU, it was electric. You know, there's going to be thousands of Notre Dame fans, thousands and thousands of Wisconsin fans, and when you get that kind of mix at a place like Lambeau Field, it's going to be electric is an understatement. It just should be a spectacular night in Green Bay.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
If you're considering solar energy, Sweet of Metal Roofing and solar panels go hand in hand.
Solar panels install effortlessly over metal, and it enhances the efficiency of your solar energy.
Before you go solar,
Install a Sweet of Metal roof.
I'm Mike.
And Mary Sweeta. Enjoy the long-lasting architectural strength and beauty of a Sweet of Metal roof.
SWITA metalroofing.com.
Sweet of Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
You're back at the gym. Your new gym outfit? On point. Your new sneakers? Baller. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So when you take your first yoga class in 10 months, your body might surprise you, but your checking account won't. You've got this with Access Checking from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits. Only one way to do cocktail night right, and that's with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Strofe. For 4 years now, I've been telling you the only way I do cocktail night right at the Strofe household, and that is with my friends at Door County Distillery. Whether it's a bourbon on the rocks, an old-fashioned made with their cherry brandy infused with Door County cherries, or something like a rum punch with the weather getting warm, it's always Door County Distillery. Find it wherever local spirits are sold, or visit DoorCountyDistillery.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Tausch mentioned a report from The Athletic and Matt Schneidman. Now, I feel like we've kind of felt that there's been back and forth. Goody actually said at the start of the offseason, way back in like March, that he's in contact weekly with John Thornton, who is Jaire Alexander's agent, trying to figure out what's best for Jaire and what's best for the Packers. So I think we feel like the contract talks have been ongoing. Yeah. But Matt reports.
I have to admit, the report is he's coming to camp or to OTAs and minicamp.
Let me just finish before you admit what you're going to admit to. The report is that there is an offer now on the table from the Packers on a restructured contract, and that Jaire, who has not been there for the offseason program thus far, Derek Ansley did mention last week that he stays in touch with him every day, but that Jaire Alexander intends to attend the mandatory minicamp, which starts on June 10th, even if the contract's not done. Tausch, what does this tell you?
I'm surprised because when I look back in February, March, I thought there'd be no chance. I never put it at 0 because I'm not Homer, but I didn't feel like it. And I think the way everything kind of shook out, the Packers obviously picked up Hobbs in free agency. And then didn't really dig too deep in the draft until, Micah Robinson at pick number 237. So when you start looking at all of that, they have young guys. I'll be fascinated to see what this contract looks like. How much of this is incentivized? How much is Jaire getting to walk through that door? I'm guessing it's not going to be nearly what he wants. I know that. It will be more of, how much did the Packers go to kind of put an olive branch out to say, come on back in, Jaire. We still believe that you can play. Because it looked very, very doubtful that this was going to happen. And now it's starting to come to fruition that this is going to happen.
Within Matt's story, the Packers could still release Alexander before he shows if negotiations for a restructuring reach a dead end. Okay. So, again, I don't know. To me, the point you just made is the crucial piece here. And that is how much of his contract, his base salary for 2025 is $16.15 million. Okay? How much of that needs to be non-incentivized to make this something he's willing to do? Is that not the fair question here?
I think it's more how much of this is going to be non-incentivized for the Packers to make it palatable for them to let him come in. That's what I think this is going to look at. I think Jaire now, if you're already seeing he's going to report, the Packers aren't going to let him in the building if nothing has changed because of what we talked about.
Right.
With a drop in a plate on your toe and then that 16 becomes guaranteed. There's a lot of things. Well, you laugh, but that happens. No, we can't do that until this happens. And guys I don't even want to get, there's stories that have been told over the years that whether or not you want to believe them or not, of getting hurt and being able to get an injury settlement and doing that and fighting through because that is a part of the collective bargaining process. The Packers are going to, I would bet, I'll be shocked if it's more than, what is $6 million out of 16? What is that percentage?
I'm not sure. That's
all right. Whatever that is,
37.5%.
That's where I feel. What is it?
37.5%.
That's where I feel like the Packers are going to be. That's about where I think they'll go max as far as what they're going to pay him.
He's going to take a 63% pay cut to $6 million.
No, because he can incentivize himself.
Right,
he'll be able to earn it all back.
It's still a pay cut. That
he's not coming in without a pay cut.
I understand. My question, and here's the other question I have, because again, I'm not an agent. I don't play hardball. Does saying that you're coming in regardless, because he is under contract right now,
forces their hand?
Does that force them to say, well, wait a minute, we don't want you out there and have you blow out your knee? So, sorry, if you can't agree to this, we're going to have to cut you. Like, is that am I being obtuse? Am I being too grassy knoll here?
No, I don't know where Jaire's head's at. Like I said, after the draft and no trade, and nobody has really come to, because I think most teams view Jaire the same way the Packers do. Really good player, can't stay healthy. Can we count on him? That's the question marks. And with that, you're going to be more than happy to pay a guy if he's earning it. Sometimes you have to pay guys in hope. Well, the Packers paid Jaire. Now they control the cards because they could say, well, we're not paying you 16. You don't want to go down to 6. You want to go to 12. We don't feel comfortable going to 12. Do I think it could end up somewhere between 8 and 10? That's the part nobody knows. But I don't know where Jaire is going to make 8 or 10 guaranteed right now. I don't know that many teams that are lining up saying, we need Jaire and here's $20 million guaranteed. That ain't going to happen either.
No,
and that's
you're right.
where I think both sides are trying to figure out what is going to be fair. And I think from the Packers standpoint, too, you don't want to beat him up so bad that he ain't interested.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the line Russ Bowlen. This is why Russ is so good at his job. I think he's figured that piece of it out, and he's going to throw enough there that I think Jaire will be engaged, and then it's, hey, man, if you go out and play good football for us, you're going to earn all of your money that you were supposed to. And hopefully Jaire looks at that and says, that's what I'm going to go do. Whether or not that happens, who knows?
Dream fearlessly, but insure carefully, just like they do at American Family Insurance.
And American Family Insurance, a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch from the jump. And for almost 100 years, they've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection. Also, you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
One of the questions that I posed was, what is their cornerback group going to look like? Is Jaire Alexander going to be part of it or not? Sounds like we're closer to an answer. We'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour by discussing this further. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake. Great call and great execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson. Sports Center brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out, 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. Breaking news on ESPN Madison, brought to you by the Metro family of auto dealerships. Matt Schneidman of The Athletic reporting that the Green Bay Packers have offered corner Jaire Alexander a restructured contract, but there's no resolution just yet. Alexander intends to report to Lambeau Field for the start of mandatory minicamp, even if he does not have a restructured contract in place. Mandatory minicamp starts in a couple of weeks up in Green Bay. Meanwhile, OTAs get underway today in Titletown. Plenty on the latest on the Green Bay Packers, including Jason Wilde's top questions for the Packers to answer before the offseason concludes. Coming your way on Wilde and Tausch here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Meanwhile, baseball, the Brewers 3-2 winners on Memorial Day over the Boston Red Sox. Jackson Chourio with a leadoff home run, first of his career, his 8th of the season. The two teams back at it tonight at American Family Field, 6:40 first pitch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. So let me ask you this, Tausch, with these developments with Jaire Alexander, again reported by The Athletic and Matt Schneidman. let's say this falls apart. Okay? How good or nervous do you feel about the Packers' options at that position? Because they've got Keyshawn Nixon, who proclaimed himself CB1 capable. They went out and paid Nate Hobbs. I am a big fan of Carrington Valentine and believe he is...
Well, you said Hobbs from the film you watched is super physical, right? Is that what you said?
Just can't help yourself. Yeah.
Is that not what you said?
I did say he was physical.
Yeah.
And he had an interception in the one game I watched.
I think you said super physical.
Ultra physical, maybe.
No.
And then it's Kalen King. It's Micah Robinson. It is not a deep group. At the same time, I don't know if ESPN Bet or Hard Rock Casino Rockford were putting an over-under on the number of games Jaire would play in 2025. I don't know what that number would be either. 7.5? 6.5?
No, I think it's less. There is no way that anybody up there, including Jeff Hafley, is going to sit here and say, I am banking on number 23 to be an integral part of our defense.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter all the other stuff, because I think when and if you are doing that, you're going to be disappointed. So I think you have to look at this scenario and say, do you feel great about Green Bay's secondary as we sit here today with Jaire not being up at OTAs when they start this afternoon or this morning? You feel like you're okay because you saw how they finished the season. Do you feel awesome about Keyshawn lining up against Amon St. Brown or whomever else Detroit's going to put out there? I would say I would like those matchups if I'm the opposing team. And that is not a shot at Keyshawn. It just is what it is. So Jaire, obviously, if he can come back and if he can play anywhere close to where he was at his peak, that would be an awesome addition. But I am not. There is no way anyone is banking on that. And I think while all the question marks are about the pass rush and everything else with this defense, I think that is a big question mark that still needs to be answered, because I think that position has been the microcosm of what we saw last year. When you're playing against, I don't want to say inferior talent, but when you're not playing the big boys, I thought everything held up fine. They had sacks. They were able to turn the football over. They did what you expect a championship-level defense to be. But when you faced a multitude of really good receivers, whether it was Minnesota, Detroit, or Philly, you didn't have the answers to those tests. And that's even with, I thought, the best performance against Philly's offense in the playoffs. You could say, well, the Rams had him beat. All right, I'm not going to fight you on that. But I can tell you this, I guarantee you, Jalen Hurts and that offense looked at it, and they were rusty, and Jalen had a concussion. There's a lot of other things that were in play.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee they're looking to say, boy, Green Bay gave us everything that we could handle on defense. But with all that said, that's when you have to measure up, is when you play those teams. And by the way, I'm going to put Tampa, I'm throwing Tampa in this big old pot of teams that can. I'm going to throw Washington in this big old pot. They're adding people. They're adding guys. Can you hold up as a secondary against not one, but two and maybe a really good tight end? Because that's the test that this group has to handle. And Jaire being back would really improve those odds of being able to do that. And without him, I would say that is the biggest question mark on the defensive side of the football.
I would agree, and I just go back to the conversation I had quite a while ago with someone who works in the building who kept emphasizing that the guy is still a good player, and that sounded to me like someone who if we can mitigate our financial risk, I still like the idea of him on my football team. And I don't know from the fiscal perspective what his open market value is. Is he more valuable monetarily to the Packers than he would be if he went out on the market now and had all 31 other teams available to him to sign him? That's the question I have, because I am assuming that his agent has done some research on that, and the reason they are open to the restructured deal, even if it's, say it's your number, $6 million, and then the rest is incentivized, I have to think he knows his client's market and realizes it's not more than that.
So, Jason, did he get an opportunity to go and shop himself to teams when
Goody said no.
Or did they?
Goody said no.
Who
he
said
they don't do that. They don't give agents the freedom to shop their clients. Now, Goody has been talking to other teams all along, right? I mean, he flat out told us that he was open to trading him because they need to get something back for him if he wasn't going to be on the team helping them win games, because we've invested a lot in Jaire.
Right. So the thing was, nobody was going to give up a pick for someone that I think they thought that they would trade. And obviously now, the way this has played out, nobody felt strong enough to pay Jaire a big boy contract, or they would have given up a 5th or 6th round pick, which, by the way, would have gotten it done.
Right.
I think Goody would have been more than happy with a 5th or 6th round
Agreed.
pick, especially if it was conditional. You know, that one would have been next year's draft, obviously, but that's where this thing all came. Nothing came to, and as I said after the draft when we had this discussion, sometimes humility will slap you in the face. And the opportunity that you think you're still a big blanket deal in the league, and then when 32 teams don't call you, you're kind of like, well, I'm retired. Well, no, the league retired you. You didn't really retire. That happens to most of us. This is more of a, man, I'm still the guy. And when nobody is willing to trade for you or pay you top dollar, you find out real quick, maybe I'm not the guy. And maybe I have to take a step back, take a look at the big picture, and understand I need to get back out on the field and prove that I'm still the guy. Even though in my heart of hearts, I know if I wasn't injured, I would be that guy. But you know what, the league, they don't care about all that. They care about what you do and what you can bring them. And if you can't overwhelmingly do that, it is always a prove-it year. This, while we've said it's a prove-it year for Jordan and all these other guys, this is one of those years where if it doesn't go well, this will be it for Jaire. This is you want to talk about a big boy prove-it year. Jaire signs for whatever he's going to sign for in Green Bay. If he's injured and doesn't play again a bunch, he's going to be donezo. And if he can go out and prove it and play well, he will probably get some sniffs from other teams that would be willing to pay him what he is going to want, or at least closer to what he wants than what he's going to be able to get out of Green Bay right now.
Well, the possibility of him coming back, I would think, would have Matt LaFleur, if it actually comes to fruition, toasting a Coors Light in his honor, saying, hey, our defense is better with this guy on our team.
Oh, I got to send Jesse. I got a beautiful picture with my Coors Light and maybe the most asymmetrical cloud cover I've ever seen. I'll send that over because you know it was Memorial Day.
Cloud cover.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Coors Light. Had a couple of those yesterday. Brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged. It was made to chill. Nothing better than a barbecue with asymmetrical clouds and in blue mountains on my cold Coors Light activated bottle and can. That's when I knew it was chilled to perfection. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
The Milwaukee Brewers, the Boston Red Sox.
First pitch to Jackson Chourio. Driven left center. See you later.
Tonight on 100.5 ESPN.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit maplehillgolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
When you're in the right place at the right time, things get done. The important things, like knowing what you need and how it all works. Talking truck. Fixing it right the first time. At Zimbrick Chevrolet, our people get it done right and now. That's how you know you're in the right place at the right time. And you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
After a storm, even seemingly small damage can lead to major problems. If your roof or siding took a hit with this recent storm, your insurance may cover the damage, but the process is still a nightmare. Badgerland Exteriors makes it seamless. They'll guide you through every step and get your family's home back in tip-top shape just as fast as that storm ripped through.
Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Jim Rutledge here from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Join myself alongside Molly Brown and Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton in Cottage Grove at Oakstone Recreational on Friday, May 30th. We'll do a live show of Jim, Matt, and Molly, and then we'll do a watch-along on the ESPN Madison YouTube as the Brewers take on the Phillies. ESPN Madison is your home for Brewers baseball in Madison and the home of Jim, Matt, and Molly, weekdays 4 to 6. Join us live on YouTube and in person from Oakstone Recreational for Brewers vs. Phillies on Friday, May 30th.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Take my heart, don't break it. Love me to my bones. All this time I wasted. You were right there all along. You and I started
I am super intrigued by this part of Matt Steinman's story about him reporting to the mandatory minicamp on June 10th, and then these 3 words, if not before. And then the 7 more words after that, even if his contract situation isn't resolved.
Put a little pressure. Yep.
So
Get it moving.
and help me out because you're a player rep. If I show up, say I'm Jaire Alexander.
Hey, Jaire. Why didn't you give Wilde your phone number?
How you doing? I don't trust that weasel.
I get it.
You've been regretting it for 20 years. Hey, guys. It's great to be here. I'm ready to go. Let's go. I'm ready to do some one-on-one reps against the kid, Matthew Gold, and I want to see what the kid's got. You, as the organization, cannot say, oh, no, sorry, we can't let you do that. Right? Like they could stall it by saying, hey, you got to go through some testing, we got to give you a physical. But help me understand, because this, I thought, this is really an interesting story by Matt Steinman. That, to me, out of everything else that he wrote, is what really got my antenna up. Because if the contract's not resolved, why would he come in? And even before the mandatory minicamp, why would he do that? Don't you think?
It's easy why he would do it. He is trying to force the Packers' hand a little bit. And again, I just don't know how much there's going to be. I don't know what the difference is. I can assure you Jaire is going to want more than what Green Bay is offering in guarantees
I
with
agree.
this new contract. That
Yes,
I can
sir.
assure you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not he can get it, I don't know. But the Packers cannot tell Jaire, you stay away. They can ask him and say, hey, this will help, until we figure this out. I believe that is what's happened probably since after the draft. And I think Jaire's probably like, yeah, I'll train down here. I'll go with X, wherever they were working out, and we'll do this. And all right, that's all great. Now it's getting to be that time. And I think Jaire is looking at it and saying, all right, it's not really moving in the direction I want, so I need to do something, or his team is saying we need to kind of push the ball a little bit here. Let's rock it a little bit, get this thing moving so that we'll come to a resolution one way or the other. The Packers can easily say, yeah, Jaire, you can come in, but you're not doing anything. Until this is resolved, players will hold in is kind of the new thing where, oh, my hammy's snug. I'm not doing anything. And in essence, what you're saying is till you get that deal done, old boy ain't doing nothing.
Right. This is going to be the opposite.
The Packers, this is Oppo, which is weird. But you say, well, we're going to get the young guys reps. Nobody is owed any reps. You're owed, you can walk in the building, and then that's it. They can say you can't work out. They can't fine you. There's nothing else they can do. And you don't want that. The Packers don't want that. Jaire doesn't want that. Nobody wants that. So you come to a resolution, and I think with what Schneidman wrote there, what that is telling you is it's probably not progressing at the rate and what they're hoping for. So let's get it moving. And then we'll figure it out, and one way or the other we'll find a resolution, and then we can move on with our lives.
So do you, and again, this is just purely conjecture, do you think Jaire wants to be a Packer? Because,
yes,
as Matt points out in his story, he's been working out with McKinney. There does seem to be some very positive things, regardless of how things played out with LaFleur's frustration with his injury, etc. There does seem to be, he likes the defensive coordinator. He gets along with his position coach. He's got friends on the team. It's a place he knows. Do you think he wants to stay if he's given his druthers?
Yes.
And then it's just a matter of what the number has to be for him and what the number has to be for the Packers for them both to feel good about it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we will see if that comes to fruition
and I
or
don't
not.
necessarily think it's that Jaire is like just madly in love and wants to be back. I think it is a combination of I know the system, I like Halfley, I know I can play well here. They know me, they'll take care of me, and I don't think anybody else will give me any more money. So it's not just I love being a Packer. I can't imagine playing in another jersey. That's what will be said when and if this thing gets resolved. But this comes down to money. This comes down to understanding of where he's at in his career. And it comes down to opportunity. That's why this will, I think, end up working itself out.
John, via the Carbless Talk and Text line, 844-770-3776. It is amazing how much you guys talk about a guy who has played only half of the games that he's been under contract for. I don't understand. He's not that good. Jaire Alexander will be the last player cut by the Packers getting down to the 53-man roster.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I don't mind John getting after us a little bit. I think I don't agree with him.
I have a problem. His first sentence I agree with. It's a lot to talk about a guy that
amazing
in the last
is
60
amazing is a strong.
That's a little sarcastic.
Yeah,
John.
in the last.
Oh, you think it's amazing how much?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I thought it was God. It is amazing.
I don't think it's that. No.
I didn't understand how we were syllabalizing that.
They've played 68 games the last 4 years. Jaire Alexander has played in 34 of them, and he has missed 34 of them. It is exactly half.
Wow.
It's not a great ratio.
Yeah, I like that stat. I put that one together myself. But here's the issue that I have with John's text. He's not that good. No, that's not true. He's not that healthy. He's not that available. But he's not that good. It's just not accurate.
So here's where I will, ask John and you. He has not been the same player.
Has he broken down the film?
He has not been the same player as he was. He just has not been. Is he still a good player? Certainly.
He said he's just not that good.
He's not as good as the contract that he got paid.
He got paid that contract after the shoulder injury. They paid him anyway.
I understand that, but Jason, is he as good as he was before that injury?
We're not paying you to tackle. We're paying you to cover, is what that message said.
No, you're paid.
No,
there's a new sheriff in town. This guy wants you tackling. You don't think Jeff Hafley wants his corners tackling? Come on. Has Jaire Alexander been as good after that injury as he is?
By the way,
the answer
You're
is
right.
the answer is no.
No,
he has not been.
He's not that good. Is not the same as he's not an all-pro.
But I think John's point, and again, I can't speak for John. John's point is this isn't when I'm talking Depoy in 20 and 21, and he's picking off Tom Blank and Brady in NFC Championship games. He ain't there anymore. He was paid on that, and the expectation he'd be better than that. That injury happened. He has the injury, and they're hoping that he regained that form. And with a very few exceptions, I don't know if he ever has. And I don't think that's unfair criticism. I think it's just the reality of where he's at because he hasn't been able to get into a rhythm either because he can't stay healthy. So that's why he's going to be taking a big-time haircut on his contract. And so I don't think John's criticism on that is criticism of us. I get it. I understand it. But if he comes back, if Jaire Alexander gets this contract worked out, and we'll tease this out, Jason. If he gets this contract worked out, $6 million with a chance to earn 10, is Jaire Alexander going to be lining up on whatever day in Sunday in September against
7th
the Detroit Lions?
September 7th.
Is he going to be?
Don't tease us out. I got to tell you about group of offices, so don't tease us out yet.
Will he be the DB1 on September 7th for the Green Bay Packers if this contract gets worked out in the next week?
Yeah. Yes, I believe he is.
Okay.
My
point to John is that's why we're talking about it.
Well, and I get it. In fairness to John, he could get Josh Sitton, right? I mean, we did not see Josh Sitton getting cut in 2016. Maybe we saw it a little bit before it happened, but it's not like we went into training camp thinking Josh Sitton might get cut.
Correct.
Right?
We did not.
At the same time, to John's point about Ja not being any good anymore, if that was the case, they wouldn't be bothering to do this. they would have just cut his ass, and he'd be gone already. So that is evidence that they still think he can play, and I think that's important to know.
Would they be doing that if Kalen King just balled out the second half of last season?
No, they wouldn't, but he never even got off the practice squad. Like he was,
I understand
he was called up for a game and didn't even play.
I understand, but my point is that spot is still his if he goes out and earns it.
Yeah, agreed.
And to John's question about, whoa, you guys amazingly talk about this, because a DB1 on a defense that should be championship caliber is a big blanket deal to this team. That's why it's important.
In a division filled with really good wide receivers. All right, we'll continue this conversation, or maybe we'll shift gears. Want to remind you, you just said earned. The reputation that Gruber Law Offices has been earned in over 35 years. They win for their clients who have been injured in accidents. They do such a great job. And you want someone on your team that is going to fight for what you deserve if you've been injured, and that's exactly what they do. So go to the website, gruber-law.com, or make the call. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
The greatest show on dirt is charging through Wisconsin. Saturday, June 7th, the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars invade Beaver Dam Raceway's grand finale for the Jim J.B. Boyd Memorial, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Then it's a Sunday special on June 8th when the Outlaws race to Angel Park for the first time since 2016. Gates open at 4 p.m. Tickets at slspromotions.com. Be there.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, where Cheesy Bites Pizza is back right now. For just $13.99, you get a large pizza with 28 pullable, poppable, cheese-filled bites. And even better, it comes with the Ranch Lover's Flight, featuring 3 bold new dips: Ultimate Ranch, Chipotle Ranch, and Pepperoni Ranch. 1 large pizza, 3 dips, endless flavor. Hurry in or order online today at pizzahut.com. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Let's make tonight the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. Got no reason not to celebrate. Baby, I just don't wanna wait. Tonight's the weekend. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait. I don't wanna wait.
So this is one of the questions that I was posing that the Packers need to work their way through, and it starts today with the first of only 6 OTA practices. There's usually 9 plus a team outing, and we'll get to maybe the questions at the top of the 11 o'clock hour. We'll play trivia next, but I am curious, Tausch, because this is what I led with in the story. Matt LaFleur has made it very clear that he thinks that with the early start to the season again, that means training camp's going to be early again. Last year, I think the first practice was like July 22nd. That he doesn't want to push the envelope and keep them for another week. So they will be done on June 12th, and then they'll report July 20th-ish. Given that the first week was in the virtual realm, and then they're cutting them loose a week early. LaFleur said that 28 out of the 32 teams are following the same format. Is that enough work in the offseason, in your opinion, as a former player?
It has to be. It will be what it's going to be. And I think you're seeing more and more teams look at those first 3 or 4 regular season games not from a preseason standpoint, but from you're still going to have some competition. I remember, I think it was New England in Belichick's last couple of years where they were still having open job opportunities for guys. You started to see Green Bay with some maybe more platooning than what we'd seen in the past. But, with Sean Ryan and some of the other spots, you're seeing more guys. You don't get the same amount of work. And, back at the golf outing last week, us old guys, I'm always amazed when you say, that's the Packers' 14th and last padded practice of training camp. And I'm always just amazed, I can't blank and believe that they've only had 14 padded practices during training camp. And this is not me being over-exaggerator, dude. We would have 14 in a week of padded practices. In a week of training camp. Mm-hmm. What's right and what's wrong? I am all for player safety. I've abandoned that ship on some fronts because of the entertain me crowd, and that's the road that the union and the league has went. And I am going to jump in because I want to be entertained. But from a player standpoint, you want to be healthy, you want to be fresh, and I think most organizations now, especially with the investment level that they're doing, they're looking at it and saying, we're going to get more out of controlled scrimmages that you're seeing. I think Green Bay announced, or they will be announcing, they're going to have joint practices with 2 of their 3 preseason opponents. Mm-hmm. When you do that, you're getting some more work. You're doing it. They're just going to be more selective with what they're doing, and it's going to be in a smaller time frame, less contact, less hitting, but I do think that makes for shoddier football, especially earlier in the season.
Let's play some trivia. Then we'll get to our questions.
What do you think?
Top.
What do you think? Is it enough?
I think 6 practices is not enough, and I think the way the league has trended away from off-season work in general is bad for player development. And
I agree.
I think that. I mean, first of all, I think the NFLPA has focused more on getting guys longer vacations than they have on more pertinent issues, but that's another story for another day. I think, especially for teams like the Packers.
Or, Jason, or as you just put that, or the league is giving you that. And
right,
you can
so
put
they
that
don't
as
have to
a
give you
win in your
meaningful
column.
stuff. Right, exactly.
You're trying to throw some bones so that the people can say you're winning on some fronts, because I'm guessing, and just reading the tea leaves, as this is going to 18 games, listening to what Roger Goodell had to say at his owners' meetings last week, and now he's getting, even though he said he was retiring after this contract, he's going to get another big fat one. You're going to see a pretty good split. The owners are looking at it saying, we're paying players too much.
Mm-hmm.
And whether the union goes back and says, well, that's just the way it's going to be, we're never going to win. I'm telling you, you're not going to win the battle. We've seen it. It's unfolded. How bad is it going to get? Because the owners will take back some percentage of pie of this big CBA, the next CBA. And unfortunately, that is going to happen.
And I would also argue that players that are young you're making decisions on your roster ahead of time. There aren't the same number of competitions in training camp like there used to be. Like, you have to make
Zach
decisions.
Tom's in a battle.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It'll be interesting to see how much work they get done, because you also, if you only got 6 practices plus 2 for the mini camp, maybe 3, I don't know, maybe they'll go an extra.
And by the way, what should happen, but it won't, is first and second year players should probably do 2 weeks of training camp before veterans come.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can assure you, when I was a rookie or second year player, give me every rep I can get.
Right, exactly.
All these guys want to showcase. Old salty vets don't want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty easy. Say year 3 and below, you guys, unless exempted, come on in for 2 weeks. Hey, you know what? You'll probably even open up all the practices to the fans. They'll love it. Coaches will love it because they want to help develop their players. This is something, and I would bet the union would be more than happy to do this. The players would, and the owners would say, well, we said you could take more time. All right, for that, we're going to take one more percentage piece of that pie. We want some of that good blueberry pie. That's got that one little slice of blueberry pie is worth $3-4 billion though now.
Greedy.
It's like a Maine pie. It's like when you go up to Acadia, you're getting that expensive blueberry pie.
Mm-hmm. And then you need a Venmo to pay for it. Jesse, what's the category for trivia, and what caller do you want?
The long sports weekend recap.
Ooh, yeah.
Memorial Day week. It is Tuesday, Jason, in case you forgot. So,
is it wrong that I can still picture and smell that blueberry pie on the windowsill in Acadia, and when we put it in the back of our car and we opened it up and just spooned, everybody grabbed a fork and just took bites of that hot piping, fresh Maine
Hot
blueberries. You can still feel and taste that. Is that weird that I can still do that?
No, but it's weird the way you're talking about it.
Yeah, a little,
What do you mean?
A little saucy.
Oh, so this is where you're so hypocritical.
Pie
Dazzling
erotica.
details, he says. How can I not be any more detailed than that?
It's not the details. It's kind of the creepy way in which you told it. It's got an American
How is
Pie
that
feel
creepy?
to it, quite frankly.
Do you love the blueberry
Really?
pie?
Yeah, it was a little. It's a bit much.
You try to make everything. You have a gutter mind, man. You always are turning stuff into
There's literally
things
a
that are not
movie
intended.
called American Pie.
It was an apple pie that what's his face was.
What was he doing?
I don't even know what
was he doing?
He was.
Guessing he was talking about it, much like you are about your blueberry pie.
He was abusing the pie. No, he was not. This was the craftsmanship of the pie.
Hot piping pie.
People are calling, and we don't even know what caller we want for trivia.
It's details, people. You want details.
No,
you tell
the
me a picture
details
that
would
is
be,
painted more.
How was the crust? Was it buttery? Was it flaky?
It was flaky and buttery. Yes.
Was it a graham cracker crust, or was it more
No.
of a... Okay. See, those
It was
are
not
details.
a strudel.
Caller
It was not
17 for trivia. Caller
It was
17.
piping hot off of a windowsill with smoke, with
Were
the
there
little smoke
drapes on
coming
the windowsill?
out. No, it was wide open windows because it's country, baby. It is country.
Caller 17, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Time for trivia presented by Vortex Golf. I did get a rangefinder request from someone in my house, by the way, while Tausch is looking for his binos. By the way, if you want to relive Tausch's sultry description of his blueberry pie in Maine, well, that's why we have the all-new, all-redesigned ESPN Wisconsin app. Live listening, show replays, exclusive content, it's all on the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Find it in the Apple and Android app stores. Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is our crew.
At the track, at the wall, jumped up. Jackson Chario brought it back. Jackson!
Hear the sound of summer right here on 100.5 ESPN, Madison's home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
This update sponsored by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you.
Add a Jackson Churio jersey to your collection on June 7th when the Brewers give away 25,000 Churio replica jerseys at the game against the Padres, courtesy of Chevrolet. Don't miss this one. Get tickets now at brewers.com/giveaways.
Join UW Credit Union at uwcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Their Memorial Day sale has been extended. Last chance to save 10% off store-wide and take advantage of Steinhoffels' 18-month 0% financing only at Steinhoffels. Lambeau bound. The Wisconsin-Notre Dame Showdown taking a huge stage to open the 2026 season. Voice of the Badgers, Matt LePay, joining the Jump Around Digital Show. No better spot for this clash than Green Bay, if you asked him.
Anybody who was there for the 2016 game against LSU, it was electric. You know, there's going to be thousands of Notre Dame fans, thousands and thousands of Wisconsin fans, and when you get that kind of mix, it's going to be electric is an understatement. It just should be a spectacular night in Green Bay.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
At Metro Ford of Madison, they sell vehicles that are built in America for America. This month, enjoy their You Pay What We Pay sale. The 2024 Ford Mach-E offers 0% APR financing for 72 months. $13.89 cost per $1,000 borrowed. The 2024 Ford F-150 is available with 2.9% APR financing for 66 months. $16.47 per $1,000 borrowed. Bonus cash available on XLT and SXT models. All offers available to qualified credit. Browse their inventory at MetroFordofMadison.com.
Hey, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network, and I've got a question for you. Is your home ready to shine this season? Whether it's roofing, siding, or windows, Ridgetop Exteriors is the name you can trust. For over 20 years, Ridgetop Exteriors has been Wisconsin's favorite for roofing, and they bring that same expertise to siding and windows. Imagine vibrant, low-maintenance siding and energy-efficient windows that brighten your home while cutting energy costs. Ridgetop Exteriors holds all expert-level installation credentials with the leading manufacturers, including Pella, James Hardy Fiber Cement Siding, and LP SmartSide Engineered Wood Siding. With thousands of 5-star reviews and a commitment to excellence, they're the clear choice for home improvement needs. Plus, consultations and estimates are always free, so there's no reason to wait. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com to schedule your free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, putting customers first every time.
Ridgetop Exteriors is the place for you.
The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive
to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe, June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Jim Rutledge here from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Join myself alongside Molly Brown and Olympic gold medalist Matt Hamilton in Cottage Grove at Oakstone Recreational on Friday, May 30th. We'll do a live show of Jim, Matt, and Molly, and then we'll do a watch-along on the ESPN Madison YouTube as the Brewers take on the Phillies. ESPN Madison is your home for Brewers baseball in Madison and the home of Jim, Matt, and Molly, weekdays 4 to 6. Join us live on YouTube and in person from Oakstone Recreational for Brewers vs. Phillies on Friday, May 30th.
This is our crew.
12 stolen bases on the year. There he goes. Pitch is high. Throw it to second. Is right on the back. They got him. Oh, wow.
You're listening to Madison's new home for Milwaukee Brewers baseball. 100.5 ESPN.
I am really intrigued by the way Jesse describes our contestant. So let's get to Wilde and Tausch Trivia.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
Let's welcome him in. Maybe this is the end of his unlucky streak. He has never won anything on Wilde and Tausch despite playing a decent amount. It is Mike in Franklin. Mike, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Well, maybe Vortex Golf is what changes your luck. It also changes your golf game. You'll be more accurate in your distances.
I've won on the other shows, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and Homer. Never won on your guys' show, though.
Well, maybe you should be more loyal to our show than theirs. All right, here we go. Let's go with the questions.
Oh, you can be loyal to all the shows. He doesn't have to pick a favorite.
I'm just saying, maybe it's karma, Kramer. All right, Tausch, are you participating in this or not really?
Isn't it weird? Jesse says you don't have to pick a favorite, even though he does that in his whole life.
He does. He cheers people.
Weird?
Yeah, I don't want to pressure Mike into having to pick a favorite because then we would be the bullies and he probably wouldn't pick us because he hasn't won anything around.
All right.
I want
Mike,
him to pick
for the
himself.
first time ever, the Indy 500 hosted a special race on Friday featuring 6 versions of which iconic vehicle? Is it the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, the Scooby-Dooby-Doo Mystery Machine, or the Goodyear Blimp?
Oh my gosh! I watched the race. I have no clue. I'm gonna go with the. Can you repeat that, Tausch, please? That's a trick question.
I can. The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Your pirate voice. Okay.
I won't. Oscar Mayer, Scooby-Doo, or Goodyear Blimp?
I'm gonna go with the Oscar Mayer Mobile.
You nailed
Good
it.
choice. Increases your chances of winning something from Wilde and Tausch. Question 2 is this, Mike. Which of these stars of their respective sport is expected to miss at least the next 2 weeks with a quadriceps strain suffered over the weekend? Is it Shohei Ohtani, Jalen Brunson, or Caitlin Clark?
I'm going to go with Caitlin Clark.
2 for 2.
Perfect
Get
week.
A little perfect week started.
Well, now you
it's a
just
shorter week.
now you
We
just
crushed
whammied
it
him.
yesterday. Which school won the Division I NCAA Men's Lacrosse National Championship yesterday? Is it Richmond, Cornell, or Maryland?
I have no clue. I'm going to go with Cornell.
You know, for a guy who didn't really have much of a clue. I'm sorry, what did I stepped on your joke?
No, it wasn't working.
I said Cornwell. Am I right?
It was terrible.
Yeah, I'm sorry I stepped on that.
I like it.
It was amazing. Mike, you got all 3 right, which means you got 4 entries into Friday's drawing, which means maybe the streak comes to an end. Maybe it does. There's a chance. All right. Well, we'll all find out together on Friday.
You guys are tier 1, just so you know, and take care and be good. All right.
I like it. I feel better.
He laughs at his own jokes, which I appreciate.
That wasn't that good, but it was a lot better than Cornwell.
Nah, you don't get it. That's just all right.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins in 2 minutes, so stick around for it.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good morning, Madison and streamers everywhere. I'm Jesse Nelson, Sports Center, brought to you by the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Listen live and on demand to all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin shows at the touch of a fingertip. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. Download the all-new ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple and Android app stores today. Breaking news on ESPN Madison, brought to you by the Metro family of auto dealerships. Matt Schneidman of The Athletic reporting this morning that the Packers have offered corner Jaire Alexander a restructured contract, according to a source, but there is no resolution as of now. Alexander does plan to report to Lambeau Field for mandatory minicamp, which begins in a couple of weeks, even without a new restructured deal fully in place. That's according to Matt Schneidman of The Athletic this morning. Reactions continuing on Wilde and Tausch, including Jason Wilde sharing his 5 big questions leading up to the conclusion of the Packers offseason program later this summer. Check that out coming up next on 100.5 ESPN and on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Baseball, the Brewers 3-2 winners in dramatic fashion over the Boston Red Sox on Memorial Day. Crew and the Sox back at it tonight, 6:40, first pitch.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch after a clunky finish to the 10 o'clock hour by me. I had more to say, but then I backed myself into a conversational corner with going up at the end, expecting more. Not good. I'll do better this hour, maybe. Tausch.
That and that long pause.
Well, see, it wasn't meant to be a pause. Jesse was confused because it sounded like I had more to say when I didn't. All right, the Jaire Alexander question was number 4.
What are you talking about him for? You're not even that good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That was question 4 on my list of 5 questions as OTAs kick off. Tausch, I'm going to give you the choice. 1, 2, 3, or 5. Which question would you like to address? Not knowing. This is a totally blind question for you.
All right,
unless you read the story.
Pick number 2. I'm going to go 3.
No, pick 2.
3. 2. I'm going to pick number 2.
What the heck happened there?
I don't know. I'm going to pick 2.
It's like The Price is Right when the crowd's cheering on.
I'm guessing Jesse's got audio that he's going to play with number 2.
He doesn't even know what question 2 is.
No idea what they are. I'm just telling you
And I think
what box
from
to
my
pick.
perspective, I ask a lot of Jesse, I guess, and I want to make sure he's prepared to be successful. So he wants question 2 because he's got corresponding audio with it. I am all in. So 2.
I don't think he has corresponding audio
No,
unless
I
he's
do
got
not.
some Brian Bulaga ready. Question 2 is who will be among the proverbial best 5 to start on the offensive line come the September 7th opener against the Detroit Lions? Offensive coordinator Adam Stenovich hath proclaimed, I do declare 3 of the 5 spots to be open competitions, left tackle, right guard, and right tackle, which just so happen to have incumbent starters who are all in the final years of their contracts. Do you believe,
Jason,
Mark Tauscher, that those 3 players
off of yours? No,
will
there's
win
only
their
one that will be up for debate. Left tackle, and I think Sheed will hold off Jordan Morgan. But I don't know where the motivation is from Goody and how hard they want to get Jordan Morgan in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That to me is the intrigue. Right guard and right tackle, it's going to be Sean Ryan. It's going to be Zach Tom. Now, if Elton Jenkins doesn't get a new deal, and is Elton Jenkins going to be at minicamp? I'd put that in my off-season questions. Is he there now? Is he going to be there?
Mm-hmm.
Is the deal
we'll
going
be
to
looking
get
for
done?
him tomorrow.
Okay, that's good. So
thank you.
All of this stuff. Well, it's awkward pause day today on Wilde and Tausch, and awkward finish. So normally you could tell my voice tails off because that lets you know that
But now it's a little bit harder to do.
Question 5.
I am not going to do that today. I am going to finish my sentences with no sense of decrescendoing, which again is a word that sticks with me.
Exclamation
for
points.
a long time. This is all fun and this is all cute, but Zach Tom's going to be your right tackle. Sean Ryan's going to be your right guard. And left tackle is going to be what? I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, you kind of crescendoed there.
Yeah, that's
by the way,
not a decrescendo, that's a crescendo.
By the way, you sent us a picture of you with your Coors Light can.
Yeah.
And you said the clouds were asymmetrical. And I found myself thinking, do I not know what that word means? So I looked it up, asymmetrical, because I remember Christian Watson, who was included in one of the questions, because one of the questions is about the wide receiver group, had an issue with his hamstrings that they were asymmetrical in strength. Asymmetrical means having parts that fail to correspond to one another in shape, size, or arrangement, lacking symmetry. So your clouds, did you feel like they were symmetrical or asymmetrical along with your Coors can?
So why I thought it was a great picture. Obviously,
it is
You
beautiful.
got blue on the can.
Blue mountain, gorgeous
picture.
can. Blue,
That's a good one.
Blue skies.
The clouds on a plane, or if you're looking horizon, it's dead across. Now, the clouds are obviously asymmetrical. They're not all the same. They're shaped differently, but what made the picture great to me was it looked like you could put a chalk line and run it all the way down. You snap it off, and it is perfect. So I guess I would probably say symmetrical in horizon, asymmetrical in shape. Does that make sense?
Not really. But I appreciate you trying to explain it to me. And I love the fact that Jesse is moving the picture around in our video stream. This is the kind of bonus content you get when you check in on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. All right, I want to get to some of these other questions that I ask and see how Tausch
Do you agree with
they
me?
will be answered.
Since nobody ever asks you questions and you pout about it a lot, do you agree with me on my assessment of question 2?
Yes, I thought you were going to ask about the picture.
No. I just thought it was a great picture. I didn't want to. I didn't realize you were going to just pick at me on asymmetrical versus symmetrical.
I just wanted to understand what you were trying to say about the photo. No.
Did it not just look like it was straight across?
I've noticed, and I think if you noticed lately, I have dialed back the corrective actions that I take with the things you say.
No, I don't make a ton of mistakes, so that's not true.
Okay.
Well, I don't. Okay.
This was productive.
Who's really what this comes down to? Jason,
I think they want
who's
Jordan.
The starting left
I think they
tackle
want Jordan Morgan in the lineup. I think there is an internal pressure to get a first-round pick onto the field, so he's not sitting as a backup sixth man for a second straight year. So I think they want him to be one of the 5. That's what I think.
Okay. So is
Do
he
you
starting
agree or disagree?
On September 7th against the Detroit Lions?
I am on Team Tausch. I think Sean Ryan is still going to be the right guard. I think Zach Tom is going to be the right tackle.
That's not what I asked you.
I'm going through all of them.
We should have picked box 1.
Oh, you're crescendoing.
Yeah, you should just let him go with 3, which was much better.
2 was
question.
a bad choice.
Milk was a poor choice. I think they're going to start the 5 that I assume tomorrow, if Elton Jenkins were there, they would have on the field, which would left to right be Rasheed Walker, Aaron Banks, Elton Jenkins, Sean Ryan, and Zach Tom. I think the incumbents / the free agent that got $77 million are the starters. I have not seen enough evidence that Jordan Morgan is going to be that good. Now, we also didn't see a ton of him. He missed a ton of training camp, missed a ton of the season. He made 1 start. So if he's healthy, maybe he's a total beast that we don't know about yet. But as of right now today, I don't have any evidence that says he is going to win the left tackle job or supplant Sean Ryan at right guard.
What would Vegas say on this? Or what would Rockford say?
They would say, who is Jordan Morgan? I don't know.
Is it a 50-50? Is it 50-50 in your eyes, or do you think this is – because there's no doubt what you said about internal pressure, and, of course, Brian Gutekunst wants his first-round pick to be a starter.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. But Steno and Matt LaFleur are going to say, well, Sheed's better. He's going to protect better, and we feel more confident in him. We're playing him. I tend to think that's how that is going to play out. I don't know what Jordan Morgan looks like. I don't know what kind of offseason he had. We'll get a pretty good glimpse of it. But that is where the organization will want to go. If that is what happens, and Jordan Morgan is your starter going into the last preseason game and then, in essence, going into that September 7th tip, if I'm Rasheed Walker, do you just sit there and say, well, I get a year of no wear and tear? Or do you say, well, no, I'm good enough. I want to go start somewhere else. Trade me.
Yeah. I would want to play.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was actually continuing to tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
No, I was saying yeah. Well, I can't say meow. You have. Did you trademark meow over the Memorial Day weekend and I didn't know about it?
How long is that dead air?
6.5 seconds.
All right. There is no better time than for Wilde to stop pouting and to upgrade his windows and doors than right now, because Pella's offering up to 6 years with 0% financing. Set your free in-home consultation today. You commit to nothing, just like the Packers have not committed to anybody up front as starters. Well, with the exception of Banksy. They have not committed. You don't have to either. They'll set to your vision and suggest the Pella materials and customizations that will make it a reality. Again, 0% financing for up to 6 years. Certain restrictions do apply. This deal ends May 31st. So visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
Yep. We'll get to more of the questions I posed next. I'm not sure how to end it now. So it's awkward. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same-old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. WeatherTech Chicago is up next on June 6th through the 8th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, I mean, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
April showers bring May savings at Metro Kia Madison. Get 1.9% APR financing for 60 months on the 2025 Kia Sportage, $17.48 cost for $1,000 borrowed. The 25 Kia Sorrento is also available for 1.9% APR for 60 months, $17.48 cost per $1,000. All new vehicles from Metro Kia Madison come with 2 years, no charge maintenance, and a 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Browse their inventory at metrokiamadison.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Get ready for the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon Golf Outing on Friday, May 30th at Old Hickory Golf Club in Beaver Dam. Registration's at 11 a.m. while 12 p.m. marks the shotgun start. It's only $350 for a foursome with 2 carts and a lunch for 4. The registration deadline is May 16th. A form and more details are available at dailydodge.com. All funds raised through the day will benefit the 2025 Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon.
Take your game to the next level with Vortex Golf. This employee-owned brand out of Wisconsin brings you premium rangefinders like the Blade, Blade Slope, and the Anarch, packed with features like image stabilization, pin spotter mode, and rock-solid accuracy. Backed by a legendary no-questions-asked VIP lifetime warranty and unmatched customer service, Vortex has you covered. Ready to upgrade your gear? Visit maplehillgolf.com and search Vortex to see the full lineup. Vortex Golf, you can bet on it.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
When you tell me I'm a wreck, you say that I'm a mess. How could you expect anything less? You lie strong to me, then cried how strong you alone. I told you when you asked, I knew this wouldn't last. At least I could be honest about that.
3 more questions that have not been covered. Your choices are these.
Well, why don't we, if I may, we don't have to sit here. We're just coming off of a break. Do we have to get through all 5 of these today, or can we not expand and Is this what we're doing? Or it feels like it seems like a lot. Did you write all 5 in one article?
I did, yeah.
Good for you.
But I was only going to do one more, and then I thought we could do 2 more tomorrow.
Okay.
Wait, what? Why are you? What's with the sound effects today?
I just got. I'm in a good mood. I can't be in a good mood. You guys, I swear, y'all love it when I'm in a bad mood.
No,
like you
we
push to get
definitely
me in a
don't.
bad mood.
No,
I think you do.
I do a
You
little
love
bit.
always
I do.
trying to get me to be.
I do not.
Curmudgeon-y, and
No.
you're trying to pin me like some old dude. And
No.
I feel that way. I know Jesse does.
Jesse
I don't know
does.
about you.
Just a little rattled, yeah.
I want to. Can't we all just
Not
get
rattled
along?
at all. Somebody's rattled. Somebody's rattled. That's
Good
a-
luck.
That's some.
1, 3, or 5.
Number 1.
Let's
pick
go
number
3.
1.
No, I'm not listening to you. You don't even have any audio set up with it. Number
No,
3.
he doesn't. None. Question 3. What will be the pecking order at wide receiver after the draft day additions of Matthew Golden and Savion, as you like to call him, Williams? Did you realize? Please go ahead.
It's going to answer the question.
What did I realize? What did
Did
I
you realize the snap counts in the loss to the Eagles? Obviously, Christian Watson, who oddly enough was not on IR, he was just inactive. The snap counts, the Packers ran 66 offensive plays. Dontavion Wicks played 51. Romeo Doubs, 37, and then he suffered a concussion. Jaden Reed, 36, then he dislocated his shoulder. Bo Melton, 32, and Malik Heath, 26. And as is written in this fascinating piece on channel3000.com, make no mistake, all 6 of those men have a lot at stake this season, including Watson, who is not expected to be cleared for game action until November.
According to Dr. Wilde.
Indeed. Went to medical school. Watson and Dobbs in the final years of their rookie deals, Wicks and Reed eligible for extensions after the season. And look, I understand Matthew Golden's a first-round pick. I know he's going to be on the field, but that doesn't guarantee him playing the most snaps or the most targets or anything like that, just because we don't know what it's like around here for a guy to be drafted in the first round that plays wide receiver. He's not guaranteed that. What's realistic to expect for his opportunities, and how do the others shake out in your mind?
I think right now, Jaden Reed is going to be, and I'm not going to go 1, 2, and 3 because I think there's going to be different positions. I think it'll be disappointing. I guess the question I have, are you going to be disappointed if Matthew Golden is the number 1 at the end of, if we're having this discussion next year in May, and Matthew Golden isn't the definitive 1, are we disappointed?
Yes.
6, 7.
Yes.
Okay. Glad you answered. I agree. So Jaden Reed, it's pause. It's a pause
golden.
Tuesday. No, it's a pause Tuesday.
I want
3
people
or 4
to think.
seconds. 7 or 8 seconds is a long time. Matthew Golden, and this I give you credit for. That stat of the day, which was back in March and April, on when the Green Bay Packers, it's been 23 years, as Mark Murphy said on draft night, when the Packers have selected first-round picks, they've been awesome. Javon Walker, I know he got hurt and it didn't end well. He was our 1 in 2003. He was our number 1. He was explosive. He was on a trajectory. It sucks that he got hurt and it didn't work out. But he was a good wideout. I'm not putting him in this category, but 2 out of 4 are Hall of Fame receivers. 2 out of 4. Matthew Golden, roll your eyes all you want. It's your stat. I didn't look it up. So that tells you that this guy, when you use a first-round pick, and especially in Green Bay when you've had all the success with second and third and fourth-round picks and seventh-round picks in Drive's case, you can look at this and say, he's got to be good. He needs to be that guy. So Jaden Reed, nice player. Hopefully he elevates and has a really good season. But if he is sitting here as your number one next year and Matthew Golden is a 2 or a 3, you're not going to be like distraught or really irritated. But you will be looking and say, well, Matthew Golden needs to elevate. We need Matthew Golden to be that number one guy. And maybe it shakes out that way, maybe it doesn't. But the expectations will be, I think he starts a little slow, and by Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving's that big deadline. In the
no
NFL.
frosh play before Thanksgiving Day.
He needs to be at that point where he is the most targeted, and he is the guy. Unless there's an injury, that's what needs to happen. And Jaden Reed needs to find his role, which I think will be a good number 2. And then it is Bedlam. Because I think they're going to find different packages for Sevion. And then it's like, well, where's Wicks? What is he going to do? Well, what's Heath going to do? That's when you get guys scrambling and really having to identify in a role that fits the team, and you find your 3 or 4 guys that you interchange to make your offense more explosive. Matthew Golden has to be in that mix.
Yeah, I agree with you, but what do you see his role being for year one? And are you going to be disappointed if he is 4th on the team in catches behind Reed, Wicks, and Dobbs?
No.
Yeah, I'm not either.
As long as by Thanksgiving we're not sitting there asking, kind of a dismal campaign. He's not really getting in much. He's not doing this. I am fine with that because that means those guys have elevated and that they're playing at a better level. But this guy needs to be coming on by the end of the season. So if he's 4th or 5th and he doesn't catch Dobbs, or if Jaden Reed has a big year, that's great. But I still want to see the signs that the Packers are looking at it saying, yes, he is that dude. As Marcellus Wiley puts it, he is that dude. I want this to be after Thanksgiving, it is, man, he is that dude. That's what I'm looking for.
We'll see if he is that dude. I'll say this, when it comes to golf tournaments, the AmFam Championship is that tournament for Wilde and Tausch. Am I right?
And we're only about a week and, 10 days out, 11
about
days
10
out?
days out, yep.
June 6th, American Family Insurance Championship has returned to Madison, and they got a couple of changes. Changes. Wisconsin's own Steve Stricker hosts the PGA Tour Champions event June 6th through the 8th at its new home. That's change 1, TPC Wisconsin. The AmFam Champ also debuts a new team competition. That is change 2. 2-person teams will compete in best ball and scramble formats. American Family Insurance Championship, June 6th. That's when the Wilde and Tausch crew, Lord knows if Jess will be out there. And it goes through the 8th. You got the great concert on Friday night. You got the great golf. You got all these defending champs coming back. Who's all coming back, Jesse? Freddie, Steve, Jerry.
Tongue Chai Jai.
That's the one.
That's it.
Yep.
Get details and ticket info at amfamchampionship.com.
Ernie Els, the defending champ.
Megan Maroney, I think, is the act playing on Friday. And I'm in a little bit of a pickle here.
Oh, no.
Because this is always a great night. Sarah and I go. It's just an awesome night to be out. You're out with
I've
friends.
heard that.
You're having some course. But somebody in our house is a monster fan of this young lady. She wants to go.
Oh, Max, that sounds like fun.
Softball tournament the next day. We always have every year. Saturday morning, I can almost guarantee I'm going to have an 8 a.m. game in Janesville. Almost every year. I'll fight through. I'll do it.
Take one for the team.
But I'll have to figure whether or not Eleanor goes. Have to figure that out.
It's an emotional decision that'll have to be made as the Megan Maroney concert leaves Tausch all choked.
You're right.
That's where a partner would have jumped in
Yeah.
as I'm coughing.
Well,
you could have taken it, but instead you pause and are just a total jerk store about it. So we'll come up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Well, wait a minute.
No.
What?
No, false start.
You can't.
Why? Why is that a false start?
Okay,
I'm coughing. I move my mic. I'm trying to finish my sentence. And instead of you jumping in and saying, all right, Tausch, that's great, but we'll figure that out, you just hang me out. And then you call me out on
Hey.
it. Rude.
Hey,
Why?
remember
It's
this
not a
baseball? Remember this baseball game when you did that exact same thing to me and said, "Hey, how you doing over there?" You all
But
right?
I'm the analyst, I'm not the PXP guy. I'm the analyst. Jason's not the analyst in this instance.
You were
He
in
is.
the middle of a story that I don't know anything about. How am I supposed to take over the story? I don't even
It's
know
whether or
who
not
Megan
Eleanor is
Maroney
going to go to the concert or not. This isn't that hard. Like, this wasn't a Charles Dickens play where you're trying to figure out. This is pretty cut and dry.
Charles
You knew what was
Dickens didn't write plays. He wrote books.
Dickens didn't do A Christmas Carol?
Is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Didn't Dickens do Christmas Carol?
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Swing into the Bridges for the Ryder Cup Scramble. On Sunday, June 1st, play a 2- or 4-person scramble for $120 per person. Includes 18 holes of golf with a cart, prizes, and dinner. Find more details at golfthebridges.com today.
Your Pella experience starts with a free in-home consultation.
It was a really comfortable kitchen table chat. We knew Pella was going to get it right the first time, and they designed a project with us. They didn't just replace our windows and doors.
There are so many options that are available, so it was nice to have someone narrow those down, and they made sure that the design was what we wanted.
Don't wait. Get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 5/31/2025.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Bree Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits. Only one way to do cocktail night right, and that's with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Strofe. For 4 years now, I've been telling you the only way I do cocktail night right at the Strofe household, and that is with my friends at Door County Distillery. Whether it's a bourbon on the rocks, an old-fashioned made with their cherry brandy infused with Door County cherries, or something like a rum punch with the weather getting warm, it's always Door County Distillery. Find it wherever local spirits are sold or visit DoorCountyDistillery.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
If you want a fresh twist on surf and turf, look no further than North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Inspired by their time living in the Alaskan Gulf in southern Texas, owners Keith and Aaron brought together unique culinary backgrounds to create a truly authentic American restaurant here in Madison. After expanding to 2 more locations in DeForest and Verona, you can savor smoky, wood-fired barbecue and freshly prepared seafood from around the country. Explore their full menu and dining options at eatnorthandsouth.com. That's eatnorthandsouth.com.
We're on the Badgers.
The schedule, as we all know, it's very challenging, daunting, however you want to describe it.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
He wants guys who want to jump at the opportunity to play against a schedule like that.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hold on, I don't want to know what it's like when you're gone. I don't want to move on. I don't want to know what it's like when you're gone for good. You're slipping through my fingertips. A little bit, by a little bit. I didn't know the love of you was the happiest I've ever been. So I'm just trying to hold on. Hold on, I don't want to know what it's like.
Time now for Lone Ellie.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
on Wilde and Tausch.
The New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 4 tonight. The Pacers hold a 2-1 series lead over the Knicks. Indiana had a chance to go up 3-0 on Sunday night before blowing a 20-point lead to New York. Of course, that's after New York gifted Indiana the first 2 games with ferocious comebacks at Madison Square Garden. Are either of these teams more rootable than the other? We touched on this with Evan a little bit earlier. Like, Indiana is the Bucks' rival, but the Knicks are also really obnoxious with all the fans and, I don't know, like all the media members who hop on the bandwagon and are cheering them on. Like, they're both pretty annoying. Is one more rootable than the other?
Knicks by a nose.
No, if it wasn't for the rivalry with the Bucks, we would look at Indiana and say, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, both smaller, big cities, Midwestern. They've built their team. They don't get the luxury of having all these stars wanting to go there. I think there's a natural, it's a small market, like there's a lot of similarities, and that's probably why Indiana was jealous of the Bucks and all their success. If it wasn't for all that, we would really be looking at this saying, kudos to them. They've developed this team. They lost their star who assed out. I think Bucks fans, yes, there's some personal history. They've made the rivalry and they've beaten us the last 2 years. But I would think we'd be pulling for Indiana if it wasn't for that. And again, that's outside of the how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln? Outside of your husband getting us, that's kind of that vibe. So I don't really want any of these teams to win it. I wanted Denver to win it. That's who I was looking for, and that didn't happen.
I think between Halliburton's dad and some of the other bad blood there.
He's an Oshkosh guy, though. He's an Oshkosh guy.
I understand. You would find me annoying if I behaved that way. And I'm a Wisconsin guy. You'd criticize me for that behavior. They rub me the wrong way. And I can't believe I'm rooting for the Knicks, but I'm rooting for the Knicks. Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly!
I think I'm actually rooting for Indiana in this series. That's why.
You got money on it.
That's why there is that.
Hard Rock Casino.
Speaking of money, no offense to Brad Nortman, Pat McAfee, and all the great punters of the world.
Oh, boy.
Sam Veit.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Pat Murphy, should he get fired? This sounds exactly like you trying to get Pat Murphy fired.
I'm not trying to get Pat Murphy fired. Hopefully the Brewers get a nice win tonight to get back to 500. That'd be swell.
Do we give Homer credit for getting Jackson Chourio to walk more?
He has been walking more.
I'm being dead serious.
And I think of Homer every time I see him draw a walk. Do you?
He walks. I think Jackson Chourio, I see on my X timeline, Homer, and Homer, it's hilarious to me. All right, continue, Jesse.
The Las Vegas Raiders and punter A.J. Cole reached a 4-year, $15.8 million extension. Seems pricey for a punter, don't you think?
I haven't thought about it at all.
It's the price of doing business.
Like, can't you just draft one every few years and it's the punter?
Yeah. Jason, I have jumped on Jason's bandwagon here. I ain't drafting punters or kickers anymore. I'm done with it. It adds too much pressure to them. You don't need it. Find a guy and then pay that man his monies. Like, it's not worth it. Especially now, punter, I might be more flexible. But if you look at Green Bay's history, they have drafted punters and they were punting for other teams.
It's true.
So you're wasting a pick.
It's true. It's true.
Australia is just firing punters at us.
It's a punter hotbed.
We got more punters. I don't think there's any tariffing on punting yet, so that's good. In this regard, we look at kicking. If anything, we've proven if you have a young team, even if you don't think there's a ton of playoff potential with that squad, you better still have somebody that can make kicks because you're not a playoff team until you are. And then, Anders, we need you to grow. Come on, Anders. We need you quicker. Anders. And he ain't ready. And then you're sitting there, you're scrambling. And then you got to wait for a lawsuit to settle in order to bring your kicker in, and then you pay that guy. That's what ends up happening.
Lesson
what was
learned.
The Anders thing. That was great.
They needed him to grow.
Anders! Come on, Anders!
Well, did they not?
100%. And great points.
Yep.
And welcome to the team on not drafting specialists. Not worth it.
Whoa, Nelly! Quickly, last one. While we were up north over the weekend, all of us who are in our low 30s gathered around the TV, logged on to Max or HBO Max. I don't know what we're calling it anymore.
That's so stupid. Yeah, what are they doing? You got to rebrand something 6 times. It's probably not what you want. Oh, it annoys me too.
We watched the 2001 blockbuster hit movie Spy Kids, starring Antonio Banderas, among others. It is not a very good movie, but for those of us that are the age that we are, we remember going to see that in theaters with our families, say, wow, this is the greatest movie of all time. Is there a movie from your childhood that only people roughly your age would appreciate that way?
Yeah, American Pie. And not because Jason sensualized a pie earlier in the show. That's not why. It's the movie. It was
only one person sensualizing a pie on this show.
No, you made it weird. You did.
Well, now that I'll accept that. You sensualized
You're the pie
it,
guy.
and then I made it weird.
Total pie guy. That American Pie was that. It's one of those movies you went to and you laughed. You took us off, and it was kind of in that genre of time where I don't know how that movie would do in today's day and age. I have no clue. Probably not as well.
Bawdy is the word I'm looking for there. The Sandlot. Do kids today, do they look at The Sandlot? Do they watch that movie with the catcher, with the You're Killing Me Smalls?
I don't know. You have two young kids. Do they watch it?
They've never seen it, no.
Well, there's your answer.
I think
you got market research right in your house.
I think baseball players watch
It's pretty
The
small
Sandlot.
sample size there, old boy.
Like if you're
No, it's not. Your kids love sports. So what are you talking about? You've been raving about that Brewers expose with Sandlot or whatever they did a couple years ago. So, no, it's not a small sample size.
2 people is not a small sample size?
In your own house that love sports? No.
50% of your house.
No.
The dogs love it, though. Ryan Wollersheim texts in on the private talk and text line. Sandlot is an iconic movie. It spans generations. Great.
Yeah, baseball fans like The Sandlot.
Is it possible that Wooly is actually older than Jesse? Is that possible?
What are you doing over there?
Just stirring it up.
Well, so we're sitting here having a conversation.
There's
and
Wooly
you're
right there.
Stuff out.
I didn't tweet any. I tweeted something during the commercial break.
Old
I'm
man
asking
Wooly from through the glass.
Jesse
Look at
is
that.
like the oldest 30-year-old we've ever met. We've all agreed on that. And I think Wooly, with his responses, I think he's older than Jesse. That's all I said.
After another big opening by Tom Cruise in a more than ever fractured theater, RE, environment, is there a bigger box office star ever than TC? Not to be confused with Tom Crabtree or Tony Cartagena. When you factor everything in, who else is even in the conversation? You couldn't, do this as a draft for tomorrow's show?
It's a tease for tomorrow. It's a tease for tomorrow's show.
You didn't even mention it. If it hadn't popped up on my screen,
I knew you
had
Packers.
it.
No, because I wanted to get some intel for tomorrow's show so that that's why I did it now. I wanted to do it so we talk about it at the end of the show after Mo Nelly teasing it out. Because it's a great topic. I love this topic.
All right, we need to move on. And I need to remind you, right now I'm on Bucks.com/plus for the Behind the Bucks podcast. There's episodes about Giannis and the Marvelous Journey documentary. There's the Brandon Jennings story. There's the Going for Gold, talking about playing on the Olympic teams. And, of course, the Damian Lillard story as well. And they are all presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks can be found on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get your podcasts. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
We're on the Packers.
You still want to see that steady play, that steady improvement, and you didn't get it from Jordan Love?
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
That just makes the stakes that much higher this season.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today. The Wisconsin-Notre Dame Showdown taking a huge stage to open the 2026 season. Voice of the Badgers, Matt LePay, joining the Jump Around Digital Show. No better spot for this clash than Green Bay, if you asked him.
Anybody who was there for the 2016 game against LSU, it was electric. There's going to be thousands of Notre Dame fans, thousands and thousands of Wisconsin fans, and when you get that kind of mix, it's going to be electric is an understatement. It just should be a spectacular night in Green Bay.
Don't wait to upgrade your windows and doors, because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% financing for up to 6 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman. You hear me talk about Carbless and their refreshing flavors all the time. One of my favorites is watermelon, and Carbless just dropped the Watermelon Vodka Cocktail 4-pack. Perfect for chilling, grilling, or game day thrills. You know the drill. Zero sugar, unlimited flavor. Enjoy clean, crisp refreshment without the guilt. That's what Carbless does. Find the new Watermelon 4-packs wherever you get your Carbless. Crack open the taste of summer and get your bliss on.
We're on the Badgers.
There are moments where it feels like you're close, but taken holistically, those look like blips.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
To win a championship, you have to consistently be that team.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Switch on the sky and the stars glow for you. Go see the world cause it's all so
The show's supposed to be over already. We got to go. But Tom Cruise scheduled to appear tomorrow as part of his promotional tour. Okay, he's not really going to be on, but maybe Tausch went and saw the latest Mission Impossible. We'll talk about it. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Will